Right. So as far as engagement goes, if I have like questions and say type something in the chat, it'll be in the like
In
the
the
Facebook Live chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, it'll be in the Facebook page or any of the channels
Got
on
it.
the
Okay.
outside. But welcome everyone to day one of our workshop with James Bonadies. I am getting ready to do an introduction. But before we do, I want to just set the stage and make sure you all understand kind of the parameters of how we do this. We're going to record everything. We're going to have it available for replay across the board. So no worries on that. And we've got a lot of things to cover. This is going to be 3 very intensive days. So if you're watching in any of our channels, I want you to first put down what city and state you're checking in from. Maybe if you're overseas, tell us what country you're in. And what I want to do is just make sure you all interact with each other. That's one of the most beautiful things about a lot of these live events. We hear about a lot of high levelers getting together for lunch pop-up groups, dinner masterminds, and all kinds of stuff. And they post in our community. But welcome to, let's see, AI companion only host. So let me go ahead and decline that. Okay, cool. Don't send us any direct messages in the Zoom. We get it, but we don't pay attention to it. We focus on the Facebook pages, the Facebook groups out there for engagement. But first of all, let me introduce you to James. James is someone I've came across many years ago, actually, and I recently got a chance to spend a lot of time with him, our affiliate team and our founders. They work very closely with him, and James is a practitioner. He built, agencies in the past. As you can tell, there's a few expensive receipts and plaques behind him for all the hard work that he's done. All to tell you, he knows what he's doing. And I asked him, "Hey, let's put together a workshop," and we all leaned towards teaching you all high levelers and folks that are outside of the world of high level how to leverage reviews as a Trojan horse and then build a marketing agency service. Whether it's mid ticket, high ticket, you have a lot of freedom. But we have 3 days worth of things to share with you. But without any further ado, James, first of all, thank you for saying yes to us. Tell us your story. Give us a 5 minute rundown from your entrepreneurship, first pillar to where you are today.
Sweet. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. Part of my story is all about go high level because, and I'll probably get a little bit more into it as I go through some of these slides, but I started and by the way, Jason is on here.
Okay,
Um,
let me go ahead and bring in
he's
Jason.
under J. He's like just the letter J. So
Okay,
he's trying to update it, but I don't know if he can figure it out.
okay. We'll get
But
him in.
I started this business back in 2014. I was a teacher in a high school. I got my first teaching job in 2002. I taught for about 10 years. Then I went back, got my master's degree, became a vice principal in a high school. The same story, right? Not enough money, not enough freedom. And so I always dabbled online. I've done e-com, I've done affiliate marketing, I've done all that stuff to no avail, sadly enough. And led me into the agency world back in 2014. Started with the rank and rent business stuff, right? It was more like SEO,
Yeah.
and we converted that into kind of like this coined phrase of leads now versus leads later, where we front end to paid ads, lead into SEO. We'll go through the process. You guys will see as we go through it today. So done over probably 35 million online nowadays, and have built, we have a multi-million-dollar agency that we just basically run the process that I'm going to go through today. So today is going to be about the process, some walkthrough. Tomorrow is going to be all walkthrough, and then day three we'll just be tying it all together. So that's
I
my
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And Jason, one of your partners, is going to jump in. So whenever he does, we'll do a quick intro with him as well. And those of you that are part of the high level community, if you are a high level already, give me a one in the chat. And I'm paying attention to our Facebook group. If you notice in the Zoom chat, there is a link to our Facebook page. If you want to pull that up, that's where we're gonna watch a ton of interactions and questions and stuff like that. Let's see. I see a few comments there. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I
Give me a
just
one
got
in the chat if you are already a high leveler. Give me a two in the chat if you are watching from distance and you don't have a high level account just yet, which we are totally cool with. We want you to feel comfortable before you come into our family of marketers and agency owners and influencers and creators and digital citizens for that matter. But the real thing that I want you to all understand is whenever we bring in someone for these workshops, we spend a lot of time with them. James, I think we spent maybe 3 weeks putting together
yeah.
this thing, right? There's a lot of preparation behind this. So I want you to all, hopefully appreciate the amount of value that we're going to provide, the amount of notes, the amount of practical things that we're going to build in. By the way, if you're watching from far and you don't have a high level account yet, you may miss out on a lot of the snapshots and some of the things that we are going to be leveraging. So we're going to be logging into the platform and building within the platform, believe it or not. One of the things that I don't want to do too much is just be on the strategy side and not enough implementation side. There'll be a great balance between both. So if you are hesitant, jump into a quick trial so you can get all the snapshots. And even today, James, are you planning on giving something away today for those that are going to stay through all the way? Of course. Okay, cool.
Yep.
One last favor that I want to ask before we go right into the slides and get started, okay? I want you to all take out your phones if you don't mind. Go to Instagram and I want you to take a story of your screen. Well, I got these cool features now. Wow, that thing slows your rendering down. But anyways, I want you to take a quick story and post and tag high level and also tag James on all the socials and let everybody know that you are getting ready to participate in this 3-day workshop around reviews. And I just want to do that for James as well as our marketing team, just as an appreciation, a token of appreciation, if you don't mind, because James is doing all this at no cost. He's being extremely generous, giving away literally the back end and the engineering behind this agency. So without any further ado, James, let's get started, man.
Okay, sounds good to me. So let me pull up my slides.
Yep,
I'm going to
absolutely.
share my screen.
Go for it.
And everybody, like, my audio is okay?
Yep, it sounds fantastic.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And
And
then if you want to go to full screen. Okay, perfect. Awesome.
yeah.
Give
So
us a one in the
Jason,
chat if you are ready for us to get started. Give us a one in the chat in the comments, and I'm paying attention of all the students that are in the front of the classroom here.
yeah, I'm on the
Thank you.
high level Facebook. I'm in here, so at least I could get some
Okay.
sort of
Okay.
back
Awesome.
on
Yeah.
this end.
And I'm looking at the external Facebook page, not the group. But either way, let's get started.
Sweet. First of all, guys, welcome. And so it looks like there's a lot of people already using Go High Level. Um, that's what you said, right? One in the chat if they're already using Go High Level.
Yep.
Sweet.
And two in the chat if they haven't jumped in just yet, but that's part of the plan.
Okay,
And
sweet.
it looks like Jason is in here. Let me go ahead and add him
Okay,
to
yeah,
the panel.
that's what he said. He just got
Okay.
in.
Jason, let me go ahead and make you a co-host. Otherwise, you won't be able to turn your camera on. Do you want to do a quick intro to Jason James and then we'll get started? How about
You know
that?
what? What I'm going to do is because
Okay.
Jason will bounce off each other through this. We kind of
Okay.
already know what we're going to do, but I'll go through a quick intro of him anyway.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
There
Jason,
he is.
okay. I got the right Jason, it looks like.
Yeah.
Got me. Tell me.
All right, sweet. So this is going to be about over the next 3 days. It's going to be about utilizing a very simple service, and then taking that simple service, making it the mechanism to creating a high ticket agency. And I believe that some of you are going to be within 3 days by the end of day three. Like you'll be rocking and rolling with this. You may even roll it out to current clients that you have, or you may be able to land clients because of this. All right. So that's what I'm hoping happens. All right. So all right. Now, how do I do this? I just click. All right, cool. So a lot of people, I guess I should ask this, put in the chat if you are using Go High Level for the agency world. You're not using it for like coaching. You're not using it for whatever else you would be using it for, but it's more geared toward running your marketing agency. I said put a one, right? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, put a one. just so I understand kind of who I'm going to be talking to. Not that I could change it anymore, but at least I could gear some of it. All right, cool. So from my understanding, probably most of the people are using Go High Level for their marketing agency. And even if you have an agency, you have a couple clients, or you have no clients, or you're just starting, there's always these lingering problems that occur with the age-old agency problem, which is a lot of people who want to start this business, they either have a lack of knowledge, they have too much knowledge, meaning they're overwhelmed and they're learning from all these different people. And so they get overwhelmed. They hear too many voices, too much advice, because now, like, starting an agency is it's the new thing. Although that was probably about a couple of years ago, it became the new thing. Now everybody's trying to do it. And then what ends up happening is you kind of don't have that self-confidence in fulfillment. And this is why I love what we're going to be going through, because the service that we're going to be going through, it's so easy to fulfill on that it ends up basically giving you the confidence to go deeper into more services. And then a lot of people have problems with getting over what we call the stitch, going from 0 to one client and then one to many clients. So how many clients do you guys have? Just give me a number in 0 is fine, right? You could say 0. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So if you guys could just throw in a chat really quick to say, if you have 3 clients, throw 3. And if you have 0, throw 0 in. I like the half a client. All right, so we got half a client, we got 3, we got 0, we got 1, 1, perfect. 0, 2, awesome. All right. So I need you guys to basically promise me the following. You will give in to the process that I'm going to go through, especially if you're going to stay these all 3 days. You got to give into this process and kind of remove all prior notions of what others have told you, what you've heard, maybe what you've learned. It's not because we're going to be teaching you anything like groundbreaking or brand new. It's more about the process and how everything falls into place. And so I want you guys to give me day 1 to allow the magic to have, I changed my microphone. It's kind of like, okay, I think you're going to catch me. I'm like leaning into it because that's what I'm used to doing, but I think I have my settings right. So I'm just asking that you guys allow me day 1 for the magic to happen on day 2 and 3. All right. And you'll see what I mean as I go through this. And really quickly, I'm going to run through this because, especially if you're kind of new to this, you're probably still wondering, like, the agency thing, it sounds like a good opportunity, but I'm not 100% sold on it. And so why start an agency? And this is what Jason and I talk about all the time in our coaching program, every single week, multiple times a week, is the blueprint, the process never changes. You never have to always learn something new like you do with other businesses. And as I go through the process today, you're going to kind of say, like, wow, so this is the same process you've been using since 2014, myself, Jason, since 2012. It's going to be the exact same process. And when you can repeat something over and over and over again and never have to change, that is going to make you better than everybody else who's jumping from one process to another process, adding things here, adding things there. And all you're really doing is chasing the shine and not getting great at what you can get great at if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So the agency is beautiful because it crosses the globe. It is impossible for it to ever get saturated. It doesn't take many clients to change your life, and I'm going to show you mathematically what we mean. It is a respectable business. So, one of the things I dabbled in the past was multi-level marketing. And when you get into the multi-level marketing business, you're afraid to tell anybody that you're doing that because, it's not it's not the best business to start. People are like, oh God, it's this guy coming down the streets and try to recruit me. So an agency is respectable, okay? It can be leveraged, sold, bought, or passed down. It's a low barrier to entry. It is actually the simplest business to start, get results. Yes, I understand that is my opinion, but I think it's an opinion that has been built over the last 10 years since doing this. And the numbers just don't lie. Okay. But I want to give a warning because, by the way, Paul, so you said it's okay to give away stuff, right?
I sure did. I sure did.
Okay.
And by the way, let me just start with this, just so I don't forget. Results may vary. What James is teaching, Jason's teaching, I even put in, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and equity behind it that you may not see, and we can't really articulate on a 3-day workshop. There's a lot of hard work behind it, and doesn't mean you're gonna go hit, 100K tomorrow, a month. But for those that do the work, you're putting yourself in a really good odd chance. So let me just provide that warning, and yes, you're going to be giving away a ton of things from what you told me, and I'm excited for it because you're just being generous, and we appreciate that. And I think they're in for a treat. I don't want to ruin the surprises.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to give some swag away. Like I got my hat. I got a couple sweatshirts, t-shirts. I'm also going to give away a free coaching for our coaching program. We have a coaching program called Local Market Vault, and I'm going to give that away. I have to at least say that so people understand what that means. And I was like, you know what? I'm also going to give $500 away. But Paulson, you're going to have to go through and when I hit the slide that says giveaway, you're going to be the one to pick. So it's not biased or anything. All right. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair. And this is all handled by James and your team.
Yes.
I'm not doing the back
No,
end
no.
finding your address and let me send you the swag. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
we will handle all that stuff. So don't worry about it.
Just the
Perfect.
500. That's coming. That's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah, just a 500. Paulson said it. No, just kidding. That's coming from us. All right, cool. All right. I'm going to go through this. Listen, this slide is just about, obviously everybody understands that the digital age is here, growing exponentially. I'm not going to even bother going into this. Search advertising is increasing. Businesses, especially since, obviously COVID, even though 4 years ago, COVID was the wake-up call to businesses that said, oh my God, I better get online. Whatever I got to do, if this something ever happens again, I need to get my customers to find me online. All right. So I'm not going to go through the stats. Everybody should know that it's all about being online. So here's what I want you to, or what you should expect over these 3 days. All right. You're never going to be stuck on your niche again after I go through this. You're never going to be stuck on your service. You won't ever be stuck on where your next client is going to come from. You won't ever be stuck on how to fulfill on these services. And you will know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. You will know how to leverage Go High Level properly. You will be able to implement AI as a service as well, and not just hear it as this buzzword. And you're going to finally have a roadmap, like a roadmap that you can follow. This is when I have Facebook open. They're going to keep messaging me. I know it. You're going to have a roadmap to follow, and you're not going to be wondering what to do next. Okay, so that's my expectations. And I guess my like put in the chat if that is something you might be missing, is the fact that you kind of know what to do, but you don't have this concrete daily action plan on exactly what to do. And then not only what to do, when something happens, what do you do when something happens? Just throw that a roadmap is something that you guys need.
I see a ton of ones saying yes. That is
Okay.
something I'm looking forward to. Guys and gals, we need you to interact with us, and it gives us a lot of energy to continue. So we appreciate the interaction, the engagement. Let's see. Hannah says, yes, I need that. Simon says, clear roadmap is great. Nancy says, yes. Will says, yes. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, sweet. All right, cool. All right, so we talked about the giveaway. So if you stay for all 3 days, here is the structure of giveaways. Now, the snapshot at the end of this day, at the end of the training today, you'll understand what you're going to get directly after day one. But the overarching giveaway is going to look like this. There'll be some rules to this, right? We'll go through it over the next couple of days, but Go High Level training, Facebook ads training, pay-per-click training. Today, I'm going to give you an agency site. At the end of day 3, you're going to have the ability to get 13 done for you funnels, a rep management snapshot, referral automation snapshot, scripts, sheets, and all of the above. Now, this is not going to make any sense to you guys now because you don't understand how this is all going to fall into place. But I just kind of want to give you, I guess, excitement for what is to come. So if you're excited, again, throw something in the chat because I know it's important to to push this out to other people. All right. We're going to keep going. So who are we? I gave you a little intro of myself, but now Jason's on here. I'll do that for him. But we together have coached over 8,000 people in their agency. One thing, a lot of people probably haven't heard from us because we're old and we're not big social media guys. We're kind of under the radar when it comes to this. The only thing, Jason will get a kick out of this. The only thing I was ever known as was the bridge guy because we ran so many ads, the bridge, right? Connecting customers to businesses. And that's what most of our ads was about, was how to be a bridge to local businesses. And we ran a lot of ads since 2017. And everywhere I went, people would point at me and call me the bridge guy. But that's all we were ever known for, was the bridge guy. We're not really too much on social media, trying to change that. But I don't know, it might be an age thing. Who knows? We've generated over 35 million online. We've received dozens of awards over the years. And to date, we've helped over 24 people reached over 1 million in their agency, helped hundreds hit 6 figures, helped thousands earn their first money online. And Jason, you want to jump in really quick and give a quick synopsis of who the heck you are? But I didn't give enough on here, so I figured.
Yeah. I'll just really quick. Yeah, James says, sorry, it took me a while to figure out how to type my name into Zoom. But the good news is if I can do stuff like this and I can't even figure out how to change my name on Zoom, there's a lot of hope for a lot of people to do this. I've been doing this since 2012. I got into agency business simply because I had started other businesses earlier than that just kind of tanked. And I was like, man, I still want to be a business owner. I got to figure this out. The thing that I struggled with is getting customers consistently. So let me start paying attention to that. And then long story short, I realized as I was studying that an opportunity to work with another business to help them with their advertising, with the stuff I was learning. And I said, well, holy heck, maybe this is my next business, because like me, who struggled whenever I had a business getting new customers on a consistent basis, someone just paid me money to help them get customers. Why don't I use this as my new business? And I just fell in love with it. And as James has said, we've been doing this for a very long time. And I will say hands down, there's no other business like an agency business on the planet. And we've done it all. And James will probably allude to some of that stuff as well. But there's nothing like helping other businesses succeed and you being able to win in that same situation as well. So
I love that, Jason. By the way, thanks for jumping in as well. We are excited that James had told us about you, and you were part of the whole formula and delivering a ton of value. So we appreciate you being here as well,
yeah,
man. Thanks for
great
the
to be here.
story and the intro.
Sweet. All right, sweet. Now, real quick, because I'm getting like messages. The Zoom chat is disabled. It's supposed to be. So just for everybody out there, because I'm like getting like, yo, Zoom chat is disabled. It's supposed to be. All right. All right. So 7 years of coaching this exact model. And like I said, believe it or not, even though the world changes so much, our process has not changed. And there's been documented screenshots, because we run contests in our coaching program, $2,215,081 per month in verified student retainers for 4 years from 2018 to 2022. It's a simple process. You guys are going to see that. It's simple. And a lot of people make this business hard, not on purpose, but it's hard when you're listening to a lot of different people trying to do different things. So hopefully over the next 3 days, we're going to fix that. And a very simple success formula. You always got to take action. You got to be consistent and persistent in your action, and you got to be a little patient, and when I say patience, I find it funny. Like a lot of people, they'll try this business for 2 weeks. They'll be like, oh, I haven't landed a client yet. What is wrong with me? But they're going to go to school for 4 years and not make a dollar until they graduate and spend $250,000 on education to earn a $50,000 a year paying job. So it's all about perspective. So I want everybody to have that perspective while going through these next few days. So who is this for? It's for a no-size agency, which would be beginners, a small-size agency, a medium-sized agency, and even a large agency. You're going to get golden nuggets no matter where you are in your journey. And so I think it's for anybody in the agency world. This 3 days is going to be for. And anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur, maybe there are people out there that are just kind of weighing this business opportunity of building your marketing agency. And this could be for you. Maybe this is what you need to hear. And maybe you'll take the leap of faith and understanding, like, you know what, once you see this, I can do this. And that's what I hope to do too. So if you're on the fence of that, maybe we could push you over.
Yeah, and also James, there's a decent amount of small business owners that are experts in their fields, and they're like, you know what, I would love to do a marketing service in my franchise or my lane. And then we also see other digital citizens that are not agency owners, like influencers, course creators, coaches, consultants that are interested in a marketing agency type of a service line as well. So
Got it.
I'm love to kind of see their curiosity as well on this.
Yeah, and that's perfect. So like for businesses, then this is even better for you because, I've owned businesses before outside of a marketing agency. And let me tell you, I understand how difficult it is, because you're good at running your business. And then, having the time and the energy to be able to also market your business. Well, this service that we're going to be talking about specifically today is so easy that even a business owner who has no time, set it up and let it run in the background. And that's all you need to do. And that could be a service that you can run for yourself. All right. So day 3, these 3 days, basically, we're just going to break them down, and we may go off a little bit and, maybe go a little deeper depending on questions and stuff. But day 1, finding the niche, building your offer, and find paying clients. Day 2, leveraging a very simple service with Go High Level for speed and results, and then adding AI to it. And then day 3, how to turn all the above into a high ticket SaaS offer. All right. And you don't have to, right? But day 3, we'll be talking about how to do all that. All right, cool. And our big promise, in 3 days, you're going to have an epiphany for some of you as you start to realize that each part of the process builds upon each other. All right. Meaning you're going to have full clarity in this business. You're going to have a complete clarity and roadmap on what to do, when to do it, what to say, who to say it to, how to say it, what to charge, what to service, and how to repeat it. All right. And we know that this works because we have thousands of screenshots that it works. People landing $1,550 client. Frank did $1 million in 8 months of his business, and in 2022 did $5 million. And by the way, Paulson, don't worry, I have a disclaimer. Okay, it's coming. I do have a disclaimer.
I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us.
So anyway, I'm not going to go through all these. You guys can screenshot or whatever, but we just know that this process, it works and it works and it works. Okay. And so on and so on. All right. I'm going to give Paulson, pick somebody real quick. Let's give away a sweatshirt. It's still cold in most of the country.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do this. Let me have all of you take a quick story with your Instagram or your phone. I'm sorry, with your phone, post on Instagram or Facebook and tag James Bonadies as well as Go High Level and post in your stories, and I'll get notified on our high level channels. And then on Facebook or wherever channel, put 3-day workshop as a comment. So let me just see. I'll pick one of you quickly here without wasting any time. Let me go ahead and go to the page. Make sure you post on the stories, and let's see. Let's see.
And if you want, you could pick them and then announce them at the end. We could do it however you want.
Jennifer Wong. Let's go with Jennifer Wong.
There we go.
She simply just said, "Me, I'm from Canada," so I figured
Perfect.
the shipping will be not too far anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna say don't pick Australia, please.
Oh man, yeah, I get notified from customs. Swag is stuck in customs.
It's always stuck in customs. All right,
But
sweet.
Jennifer Wong, you are the winner of the swag giveaway, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, she could just find me
Okay.
somewhere on social, and then I'll
Okay,
we'll
perfect.
handle it from there. All
Hope
right.
y'all are loving this, by the way. We're doing this to create excitement for y'all. We know what we're excited about. We're giving away the farm, okay? Like we know what it's built on. So engage.
Yep. All right, sweet. Okay, so in order to understand kind of the process, I like to always start with the end in mind, so you kind of know where we're gonna be going with this. And the end looks like this. Now on the it doesn't block it, right? On my end? No. Okay, cool. The entire business is built with this roadmap. This is the prospect. You have a niche and you start prospecting, right? When you find a prospect, you do so. And by the way, I'm going to go through each part of this. This is the end. Client qualification interview, we call it a trial close to a trial onboard to a retainer close, retainer onboard, upselling, and then we're going to go into a referral automation. And then the process repeats itself. That is it. That is the entire agency roadmap. Okay. And when you see it kind of laid out as a roadmap, it starts to make sense. And as I go through, again, more of this, it'll start to even make more and more sense. Okay. So this is the end, and we're going to now work toward it. Now, when I say about, oh, why did this get moved? I don't want to show any, I got slid out, any personal stuff. Sorry. Okay.
Yep.
So, a lot of people talk about, selling SaaS and stuff like that. Great business model, and I agree. Okay. But what if you can now take the same business model, but instead of collecting the 197s and the 97s, we learn a way to collect bigger ticket items like $6,994 a month. Okay. Instead of basically having to deal with 30 people, 40 people, 50 people with a SaaS offer, we only really need to deal with a handful. Okay. And that is something that we did. We had our 197s, the 97s, and then we started to say, all right, you know what? I'd rather have less clients that are paying me more so I could spend more time with them, make a bigger impact with them, and believe me, make a lot more money. Okay. So that's what we're building up to. So for example, our SaaS configurator used to look like 197, 397, 97, and we changed it to 1,050, 3,450, and 6,994 a month. These are per month. Okay.
And James, real quick, I know there's a ton of people watching that are not in the world of high level.
Okay.
What do you mean by SaaS? What is SaaS configurator? What do you mean by leveraging SaaS as a gateway for high ticket agency services? I know it's like the SaaS hybrid model, and we've talked a lot about it, but there's a ton of people watching that's never seen high level before. Can you give us a quick 1 minute rundown? Yeah.
So for people who are in the Go High Level world, it's very common to hear people say SaaS, software as a service, and selling Go High Level as just as a software to businesses. And although that could work, and I think it's more depending on the niche, we attach the service to the software for stickability and honestly for value. When you're selling just a software and kind of saying, hey, buddy, use this, it's good for your business, take it. It's very hard to retain them. And it's a lot of like teaching. You'd have to teach them a lot of things in order to utilize it correct. Instead, we sell the service with the software. Okay. The service is what we're selling. The software comes with the service. That's how we sell it. Now, some people may say it's SaaS. Some people may say it's software with service. I don't know how you want to coin it, but the process is we're selling them the service and the software comes with it. Okay. And then this is just Go High Levels, 497 level. Again, you don't have to utilize Go High Levels SaaS configurator sell. You could sell retainers. This is going to be up to you guys and what you feel comfortable with. And that's going to be my next slide. Gigantic disclaimer. These are our numbers. Okay. And I have to move that thing out of the way. There we go. That's going to be better. So here's our gigantic disclaimer. The numbers we show are our numbers, and we don't guarantee you will have the same results. We have been doing this for 10 years, in some cases over 10 years, 10 to 12 years. Okay. Does everybody knows that? All right. However, the numbers can be adjusted based on your comfortability, your niche, and your experience. Maybe you would never sell 7,000 a month retainers. So you could sell 1,000 a month, 500 a month, whatever you feel comfortable with, wherever you are in your journey. This is just about the process, and you can attach the costs based on your comfortability. Okay. In simpler terms, this is about getting good enough to build up to these kind of offers. Okay, so we're going to start getting into the niche. So I'm going to handle the niche, and I'll probably let Jason jump into the service because my throat is going to start drying up and I'll have to get some water. Okay. So they always say that riches are in the niches. All right. And obviously, I think a lot of people have heard, the whole specialist versus generalist. When you're a generalist, you typically can't charge as much as a specialist. And so drilling down into finding only one niche will make you the specialist. Okay. And yes, it makes it easier to close business, and it creates a rinse and repeat scalable business. So if I'm working with dentists and I offer them 2 services and I'm only doing it for dentists, well, now I'm the dentist specialist for running, let's say, reputation management. We'll get into the service in just a little bit. And then you're more valuable when you can hone in on that niche. And the best part about when you start to hone in on niches is that you have the ability to literally copy everything that has worked for dentist 1 over to dentist 2. And now you're just rinse and repeating. Okay. And so niching down is completely fine, but most people, right away, they really can't. And I want to talk about why. The only time you should start to niche down is if you can get great results for that niche, and only if you enjoy working with clients in that niche. And the easiest way to niche down is to tackle existing opportunities, experience service-based or results-based. So really quick, I'm going to dive into this just a little bit. I don't have a image of it. I forgot to put it. We call it like the pyramid of choosing your niche. In the beginning, and a lot of people I feel are, in the beginning of their agencies, it is okay and should be expected that you can work in multiple niches. And so many people get stuck with this. They get stuck with literally not starting their business because they're still trying to pick their niche. Does anybody, let's ask the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you are stuck with the niche, picking the niche. Because it's very, very common. We see it in our coaching. We see it in, all over the place, is that you guys get stuck on it and then they can't move forward.
I'm seeing a ton of 1s actually. Yeah. Yeah.
So what if you don't have to pick your niche? What if there was a way that you don't have to? And I think it's on my next slide. And you go with the niches that you already have opportunities around you in. And I can't tell you how many results that we get when we tell people, when they ask, James, what niche? Jason, what niche? Well, what business have you worked in the past? Where do you work? Do any of your friends or family own businesses? Do they have friends and family that have businesses? And people start to think and like, oh, you know what? My brother-in-law owns, a towing company, or, my sister-in-law's mother or father is a dentist. And when you start to kind of, instead of thinking of what's the best niche to start, you start to think of where are the niches in my warm market that I could tackle right away. And so this is the right way to do it, because otherwise you'll be sitting there for months and months and months researching on what's the best niche to start. And this is not about getting everything right in the beginning. This is about making money as fast as you possibly can and getting the at-bats and talking to people and letting people know exactly what you do.
So
And
James,
yeah.
James and Jason, let me ask a quick question. And myself and Chase Buckner, we teach a lot of this in a lot of our masterminds and conferences and events. And we agency owners ourselves of the past. We always say your launch strategy is a little different than your scale strategy, right? So
Yep.
the scale is not really identified till you get your feet wet and you have some experience, you feel confidence about your fulfillment. And then at that point, you're trying to figure out your brand positioning, who you want to be, how to attack and create partnerships. Is that how y'all feel as well? Or is there any synergies there?
Yeah, Jason could jump in on this.
Yeah, what James was alluding to, we like to look at it as almost like a pyramid. Like when you're just getting started, that's way different than you 5 years down the road. That's way different than you 10 years down the road. So as James was alluding to, it's more about, we look at it as a pyramid. Your foundation, when you're just getting started, you're building a portfolio, is essentially what we like to say, is you're taking opportunities as they present themselves. Right away, for me to just get started, I don't just say, you know what, I'm going to work with dentists. Oh, okay, great. You can do that, but how do you know dentists are who you, how do you know, like, why dentists? Like, did you just randomly, well, I heard they pay a lot of money. Okay, cool. Well, while you're focused, laser focused on dentists who you don't even know if that's going to be your permanent niche because you've never worked with them before, you're passing on opportunities that potentially are presenting themselves that you could have just gotten that quick money with. And so what I like to say is get started quick, start making money, because money gives you options, but it also is going to give you diversity. It's going to give you that experience. So maybe I work with a chiropractor because it presented itself. It was in my network. And then I crossed paths with the dentist at Starbucks and we got to talking. And so I take on this dentist. Before I know it, I may be working with a chiropractor, a plumber, a dentist, a realtor, right? You can't open up your door and throw a stone without hitting at least 5 realtors. We all know them, right? And so in the end, you eventually get to the point where you're ready to go to that next level where you say, you know what? I was working with this chiropractor and I just could not get any results. No matter what we did, no results with them. I don't think I'm going to work with chiropractors anymore. Worked with this realtor. Holy cow. We blew it out the water for them. It was a great experience. I may consider looking at more realtors. The dentist, didn't do too bad with them. So going to look at dentists, the plumber, they're all a-holes. Everyone I talk to, I don't want to work with them. So now I'm maybe focused on realtors and dentists. And then eventually I'll get to that point where I'm like, you know what? I'm successful in these niches, but here's the ones that I always get great results for consistently. They treat me well. I enjoy working with them and they pay me my value. And then that's the top of the pyramid when I say I'm going all in on that. That's the way we look at building agents, which sounds like it's aligned with the way that you guys talk about it as well.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly. Yeah, and the best part about that is it like takes like the burden off your shoulders of like trying to get everything right on every step of the way. It's not about that. It's just about at bats, talking to people, and just taking action. And so yeah, as I go through this, do you already have experience in a niche, previous employment? All of a sudden when people start to think, they're like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I should probably, I used to work at a dentist's office or, things like that, right? And then we have a prospecting strategy, which we'll go through, called Arms Reach. It can help you highlight these opportunities, people you already know, people you don't know that you already know. All right. Again, and then there's other things that go into it, right? Choosing a niche based on the services that you want to provide. There are some people that they don't want, let's say, provide Facebook ads at all. And there's going to be some niches that do extremely well on Facebook. So maybe you shouldn't be going into any of the niches that would require results from Facebook ads, let's say. And this allows you to control the consistency of results, filters of prospects, makes scaling easy, like we just talked about. And specifically in these 3 days, we're going to be talking about reputation management. And so the trial service decides your niche. So for example, well, I'll get to it on the next slide, but you could also dive into research sources like Groupon, LSA ads, Google ads. Like, what is out there already in these niches? What are the offers that are out there that you could utilize in any existing fulfillment? And so then choosing a niche based on existing results. There's people here now that already have existing results in certain niches. So maybe, like Jason said, you double down on that. If you've gotten great results, it just makes it so much easier to start selling. And so that's why in the beginning, and for those of you who are just starting, like, your only job is to get results. It's not even about landing $2,000 a month clients. It's about getting the results so you can say something like, hey, we just helped Mary Realty get 100 referrals and close 3 deals last month, and we're looking to expand and work with another realtor. Would you like us to do the same thing for what we did, Mary? Right? That conversation is so much easier to close than just a straight up like, hey, give us $2,000 a month and we're going to run Facebook ads. Don't know if I'm going to fulfill on it. Don't know what's going to happen, but I want you to pay me because I want to make money. Right? There's a rhyme and reason for all this. And again, research sources would be results you've gotten, results someone else has gotten. And so if there was any action items on the niche portion, right, you would choose which niche you will prospect to, consider the opportunities within your network. You can still take opportunities that appear outside your niche based on who you know. We call that the arm's reach method, which is your inner circle, who you know on Facebook, who you know on Instagram, people in your sphere. And then remember, this is just to get started. You're never stuck in a niche, and you're going to be able to adjust as you start working with people. Okay. Does this make sense to a lot of people when it comes to the niche portion?
Give us the one in the chat if you're resonating with kind of the foundation and the stage that we're setting here. Okay, I'm seeing a ton of ones here. Okay, awesome.
Okay, cool. And so I did have the pyramid, by the way, Jason, just a little bit different than the niche one. Jason, jump in and explain this one, because I grabbed this from you always talk about this, so you can go through this.
Yeah, this is this is actually our prospecting pyramid. So a little bit different than the niche one, but essentially it follows along the same thing. Is we're going to start in our network. That's where we're going to find, again, existing niche opportunities that are already nearby, right? Once we then start working with these niches, we start to realize, kind of as I was alluding to a little earlier, like, hey, I enjoy working with these guys, and these guys. So now I want to expand beyond my network. Now it's time to start the scale of my business. So I need to know who I'm going to reach out to at this point, right? At this point, I'm narrowing it down and say, all right, I'm getting great results with realtors, I'm getting great results with dentists. So I'm going to pursue them. And that's when we'll go to what we call layer 2 prospecting, where it's usually a cold type of prospecting where we are going direct to these people. That's where I say, all right, I know I want to go after dentists. So let me get a list of dentists. I'm going to call them. I'm going to email them, whatever the cold outreach is. Whereas our arms reach, or we like to call it the double tap, we're going to go over those methods in prospecting. That's where we're able to kind of attract people to us initially, but that scale just isn't there. So once we know who we want to work with, then we can pursue them with the other essentially prospecting methods in layer 2. And then layer 3 is where we say, all right, we're at a good point where cash flow is really good. And I'm really now laser focused on either this one niche or maybe 2 niches that I'm getting killer results for. They pay me my value and I enjoy working with them. That's where I may inject more capital into the process and do stuff like run appointment booking ads or whatnot at that level there. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So Jason, I'm gonna take service. I don't know why I said you would. You'll jump in maybe in the offer. So we're going to specifically talk about reputation management. Does everybody know what reputation management is? I guess put a 1 in the chat if you know what it is.
Yeah, let's assume they don't, from the context of how reputation management is delivered, because a lot of them use reputation management and get reviews for their businesses or whatnot. But there's a good amount of small business owners that don't think of it in the sense of delivering it as a service.
Got it. So when we say reputation management, basically, as a business owner, what do you look like online? Do you have a bunch of 1-star reviews? Do you have, do you have a bunch of 5-star reviews? And essentially, as agencies, and we're offering this to business owners, is a way to increase your star review, which then naturally increases your ranking. And I walk through this, to be honest with you. I don't know why I'm trying to go off the top of my head. All right, so it's a brand service, okay? And we use email and text campaigns to generate more online reviews for businesses. We send a review request to existing and new customers. And again, it will all tie in when we use the word trial, existing customers. So review requests and existing and new customers typically start with existing customers, okay, in our trial, which will be in our offer when we'll get to that. Then you're going to set up a process to get consistent ongoing reviews from new customers. It could be manual, it could be automated, and it has an extremely high perceived value to generate new positive online reviews, reduces negative online reviews. And the best part about this service, it's always active and it works very quickly. Now, a lot of people, this is what a lot of people think, and they're like, oh, I don't know if businesses would be up for it. Well, most people don't leave reviews voluntarily. They don't like walk out of a dentist's office and say, I can't wait to show, to tell everybody how great this dentist was. They're not going to just voluntarily be done. They need to ask for it. And the dentist is busy, running from patient to patient. 99% of them are not asking. And the worst part about this is that people who do run and leave reviews are the ones that aren't happy. They are the loudest ones. When somebody has a bad experience, they're the first one that will go and leave a bad review. And so reputation management as a service has a huge benefit for clients because it gives businesses a simple, fast solution to manage and monitor their reviews. It increases positive customer reviews with little effort, and it helps clients filter and address negative customer experiences prior to them actually going to Google and damaging their brand. It also naturally will increase their online exposure, gives more opportunity for potential customers to find that business, and more opportunity for potential customers to see something positive about that business. That is the value in this service. And it looks something like this. Okay? So a customer walks out of the dentist's office. Okay? Within a few days, they get an email and a text asking about their experience in that dentist's office. This is an example. Okay? Then, if they have a good experience, we ask them to leave a review on Google. And then Google or that dentist gets a new positive review. If they leave a bad experience, we're going to ask them to leave an internal response form to say why, what happened, how can we fix it? And they can still go and leave a review, a bad review, but it's just like an extra step for them to do it. And a lot of times internally, when we ask them for an internal review, all they want to do is get out how mad they are, right? So all we do, let me just click this again so I can see. So up here, if they leave 4 or 5 stars, we ask them to leave a review on Google, and it looks like this. This is the next step, okay? I think people can see this, right? Yeah, it's pretty, you can see it. It's on the bad experience side. If they leave anything less than a 3-star or a 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, we have this internal form that will ask them to tell us why did you have a bad experience. And then our client who is paying us to run this reputation management service will then be notified to say, hey, so-and-so just left a bad internal review. You better reach out to them and fix it before they go to Google and leave a bad review. And this is what stops them from doing it. Now, I'm just going to kind of tackle the elephant in the room. People say, well, Google, it's against Google's policy to review gate. Here's what we're doing, though. We're not asking them to leave a review on Google and then review gating. We're asking them to leave an internal review for ourselves. And when they do that, we're collecting internally. You're allowed to do that. When they leave a good review, we say, oh, by the way, here's our link to go to Google. Does this process make sense to everybody?
Give us a 1 in the chat. Give us a 1 in the chat if it's resonating with you so far. And you can post your questions as we go through it. I can, if it's relevant, I can bring it up to James and Jason here.
Yeah. So I see some questions coming in. So they are first leaving an internal review for us. Okay. When they leave a good review, we're simply on the next page asking them to say, hey, why don't you go and review us on Google? That's it. When they leave a bad internal review, we're simply asking them, well, what did we do wrong? How can we fix it? That's it.
Yeah, I like to just say in here, like when people voice, it doesn't stop them from going out and leaving a bad review. They may still say, you know what, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to I want to put it out there. But what we find, and I say we, not James and I sat around and researched this, just in general in life, right? when people get a chance to vent, they usually, that's all they want. They want to hear have their side of the story told. And so for most people, it's a majority of the people, if they've had a bad experience, and then they're asked, hey, we're sorry about that. Customer service is what we strive for. It's our, what we want. Tell us about your experience. We'd love to hear more about it so we can, whatever, make it right, whatever the verbiage is, right? We already actually have some pre-canned verbiage. But in the end, it is them being able to say, yeah, I had this experience, blah, 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 right? And not, you know how it goes. Not every experience is something that was the business's fault. But sometimes it is the business's fault. It doesn't even matter. In this case, they're getting a chance to vent. And for most people, that's enough. All right, I got it out of me. All right, I feel much better now. And then they go on about their day, right? And in a lot of cases, what can happen is the business owner who receives that feedback, well, for one, they get a nice audit of how their services are going. Like, how is their business operating? Maybe there's a problem employee that they find out about through this process. But in any scenario, it does give the business owner a chance to reach back out and make things right, regardless of whose fault it was, to make things right, do right by that customer. And what can happen is people who left a negative internal response will get taken care of by the business owner, and that satisfies them. They're like, yeah, that's all I want. I want someone to hear me and then just make it right. And then that turns them into now a positive experience that they will go out and share that, hey, I had a bad experience initially, but the business owner talked to me. It was I can't recommend this business enough. And so you'll find that a lot of these negative feedbacks actually turn into positive reviews. That's the power of this process here.
Yeah. And it's very simple. And as I'm reading all this, I'm not going to go through each question because we'll do that at the end. But we have people, because there are some people who are like, oh, but what if they still want to leave a review on? So I keep blocking myself to see. Okay, there we go. So if you take a look here, right, we're saying, hey, thanks for the 4 stars, review us on Google. And then down here, it says if you're not satisfied, some people feel comfortable and they'll put like a Google link underneath this form, just if they're like, oh, it's, review gating and all that stuff. So it's not even about, this service is not about how you run it. Let's just, because you'll understand this in just a second. This is about getting your foot in the door with clients and offering an amazing service for them that they get a lot of value, and then building from that, okay? And by the way, just so you guys know, somebody asked, how does this all work? Well, that's what we're going to talk about, because we use Go High Level to do all this. And real quick, just to understand the pricing of this, right? This is our foot in the door offer. This is our foot in the door service. It's hard to say no to. And we kind of, if you're charging $297 a month, we recommend $397. But if you're charging $297 a month and you're utilizing Go High Level's $97 per month plan, you could have 3 clients, right? So if you have 3 clients at $297, with 1 client, you're at 67% margin, 83% margin. If you have 2 clients under that plan, if you have 3 clients at $297, you're at 90% margin, right? So this is why utilizing.
You mean in the context of paying for High Level yourself for free?
Correct. Yeah. In the context of hard costs, if you're paying for Go High Level at the 97 level and you have 3 clients utilizing rep management services, that's the profit margins. Okay. We like to give that. So, because people always say, oh, people say $1,000 a month, but how much is really the hard costs? Well, we just want to kind of tackle that before we get that question. Okay. And obviously at $297 with the unlimited clients, you could see that profit margin go up the more clients you get. All right, Jason, I'm going to release you onto the Baby Yoda strategy. This is Jason's baby from inception. This is how he likes to explain about building your offer. So you are good to go, my friend.
Yeah. So are you going to run slides for me, James?
Yeah. I'll click.
Fine.
I didn't even think about it.
That'll just save me from going in there and messing everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Baby Yoda strategy. So what is this? This is essentially our way of communicating how to structure offers, and really all originates and starts with with cable TV, right? There's a lot of people that remember the good old days when people just only had cable. And what is that, right? It's you being able to watch movies, documentaries, shows, music channels, right? But the thing with cable is, and everyone really started hating cable. It was like this one big bill, anywhere up to 200 plus a month. No flexibility, right? Hey, I only watch this channel and this channel. Can I get rid of it? No, you got to get these other 200 channels that you'll never watch again and pay up, for our ultimate package, for that one channel that you really want. And it was limited choices, right? And long-term contracts, right? So in the end, it was not very flexible. People didn't really like it. But then what happened, right? We started seeing the streamers. And what did they offer, right? Movies, documentary shows, music channels. Again, Netflix kind of kicked off this whole process and was like this awesome thing where it's like, hey, I'm just only X number, X, I can't even remember how much it is now. But let's just say $10 it was. $10 a month, and you can watch all these movies, right? You get all these movies, no commercials, all this stuff. And like, hey, I love that. And then, Netflix came out. And then shortly after, we seen stuff like Hulu, right? Hulu's like, hey, if you like Netflix, I'm a cheap thing, but I can offer you all these TV channels, right? All these TV channels that you're used to watching. And, but no commercials, no big contracts. And so in the end, wait, go back. Yeah.
Oh.
Go back one more. So what was that, right? It was all these streamers started to come out, but it gave us flexibility. We can pick and choose what we wanted. We weren't stuck with this giant contract. Choices were limited. We had some trial periods and whatnot. And then enters, the next slide, then enters my old friend, the baby Yoda here, that I like to call this whole strategy, right? We started seeing on social media, we started seeing this guy all over the place. Like, what was this? What is this thing? Like all over the place. And it was like, hey, this new show, it's coming on this new channel called Disney Plus. There was just one more of those streamers that was like, man, all right, I have this, but I got to have this so I can watch the adventures of this little guy. That looks like it's going to be a great show. And so in the end, what happened was we have all these channels, right? We have all the cable. Go ahead, next slide.
Yeah.
We have all these channels, right, that are happening both on cable and all these streamers, but they're giving you the same thing, right? Cable is $200 a month, but because of the accumulation of all these streamers, we still end up paying around $200 a month. But the difference is, I'm not sure if you have it on the next slide.
Well,
okay, go back. So go back too. So the big lesson here is that people are happy paying for the streamers because they did it their way, right? Hey, I got to build this thing. I wanted this. I wanted this. It's everything I wanted. And I didn't have this one massive bill. They don't see it as one massive bill because they've been paying for it in individual little pieces, right? And so that's where this strategy kind of comes from. Go ahead and do the next. Is that we can essentially build a strategy like the streamers do versus cable. We want to be like the streamers versus cable. We want to start them with like a Netflix. Say, hey, tired of all that stuff that you're used to? Why don't you just give us a little try? We're Netflix, you have some flexibility and whatnot. And say, yeah, I love it. And then the next product comes in, right? Disney Plus comes in and says, hey, you want to watch me, the adventures of Baby Yoda, right? You're going to enjoy, go ahead and get Disney Plus. And then Hulu comes along and Sling and Apple TV, except for the difference is we're replacing it with streamers, or sorry, we're replacing the streamers with our services. You can go to the next slide. So in this case, we're going to give them a nice little foot in the door. We're going to give them the Netflix. And in that instance, it is our free trial of reputation management. Hey, instead of these big giant packages that you're probably being approached by every other day, why don't you just give us a little try with this one service? It's amazing. It works quick. And we're just going to give you a trial, right? And if you like it, then we can talk about the long-term results, which is the next step, right? Where we then lock them in, right? So the Netflix 7-day, 14-day trial is over. Now it's like, hey, you like the service, here's the monthly investment, right? And so we lock them in on the reputation management. And then we start approaching them with the other streamers, right? In our case, we like to use a service called message marketing. We say, hey, if you love this, the next thing to build on is this right here. And then so on and so forth at the lead generation and SEO, where we say, hey, the next opportunity we see, as you can see, you're already enjoying these things. The next opportunity to put fuel on the fire is service 3, service 4. And frankly, you can sell unlimited services using this model, but it's just taking the streamer approach versus the cable, one big bill, one big package. There's nothing wrong with that solution, just that this is way easier, we found, when you're just getting started to start building your business, right? You get your foot in the door with one service and with a trial, and then you can go from there. After you do this, heck, even once, you can really change up your model at that point. The goal of this is to get to results as fast as possible. Because with results, you can then leverage to sell anything ever. If you remember a couple slides back, James was talking about what that conversation might look like. It was about that realtor. Hey, we're already working with Mary Realtor, got her 100 buyer leads last month. She closed 3 deals. We're now looking to work with a realtor in this area. Can you handle that volume? Would you like us to do the same thing we did with Mary Realtor? My conversation changes. I don't need to say, hey, we'd like to offer you a little trial. No. Now I'm leveraging results. Like, hey, here's what we can do. Here's what we've done. We're going to work with someone like you. Can you handle it? If not, we need to go to the next person, right? But this model right here allows us to start that, right? It allows us to get to that point where we can start getting our foot in the door when we don't have much experience, right? We start with the best offer on the planet. Hey, keep your wallet in your pants. Let me show you some results. Then let's discuss those results afterward and see if it makes sense to move forward, right? I don't have to have any experience. I've removed the risk, right? I've removed the risk. So now I can come in, get started, show them what I can do, and then build from there, and the sky's the limit. Exactly.
Jason, can I ask for a clarity moment here? I love what you're sharing here because we teach the Trojan horse method of leading with one and then expanding once you've landed in the business. So for those that are brand new and maybe don't have a lot of experience going into the market with these services, what's the difference between, let's say, reputation management and reviews that we're going to talk about next 3 days essentially, versus, let's say, just leading with SEO for free and not charging them? Like one, to me, it's the delivery side, right? James is laughing, but these are real questions from real people. That's why can't I just go out there with this heavy service? Can you provide some clarity of how difficult that is as a provider? And then also, can you, one of you just talk about the difficulty in targeting and entering a marketplace, right, with a heavy offer?
Right. Yeah. So this is a process that is exactly what something James and I talk about regularly in the training. And it involves what we like to call quick win strategies versus results later strategies, right? When we're doing a trial, we're trying to get our foot in the door. When we want to impress someone, especially when we have no experience and we're coming in without a bunch of case studies and whatnot, what we want to do, the first service we want to offer is something that gets very fast results. It's no different than that Netflix, right? I turn on Netflix, the trial starts, I'm immediately in there, I'm immediately enjoying the content. And that's essentially what we want to do with the service. So if we just kind of look at this scale of services here that we have in front of us, rep management, well, I should have started at the other end. SEO, that's what we like to call a customer's later. It's a garden analogy, right? If I go out and if I grab some seeds and I go plant them out back, plant a garden out back, I don't run inside, grab a dinner plate and run back out and say, all right, I can't wait to eat from my garden tonight, right? It's going to take several weeks, months of nurturing and tending to that garden. But then what eventually happens? That garden will sprout, bloom, do whatever. And then I will be able to take the plate out and grab fruit and vegetables and whatnot from my garden every night. And so that's kind of what SEO is. It's one of those things where I have to do work, tend to it, and eventually Google gets enough of the signals that it's going to push my business, my clients' assets to the top of Google. That process, though, takes a lot of time. If I'm trying to get someone to work with me, I don't have that time. I don't have 6 months to wait around and say, hey, don't worry, results are coming. I'm going to show you I can do things. What I want to do is I want to start with what we call either customers now service, essentially something that has a quick win around it where I can execute it. And I like to call it the faucet. Like I flip on the faucet, water comes out right away. But when I turn it off, the water stops. That's these other services here. So reputation management, message marketing, by the way, you might be saying, what the hell is message marketing? that's just something, that's just a word I made out to make it sound sexy and cool. It is simply essentially what we'd call like a database reactivation. It's an email and a text sequence to send an offer out. And then of course, lead generation is me running ads on either Facebook or Google. Those are all kind of faucet services. They're quick wins. I can flip a switch and they start working. Reputation management, I have a list of people in there. I flip on the switch, they're immediately getting review requests. I can immediately start seeing reviews, and so anytime I want to go, so to address the full spectrum of the question, if I want to go into any kind of market and I have really no results to leverage or bring to the table, we like the trial model. We love this model, but you got to do it correctly by using services at the beginning of this whole process that are going to give me that quick win, because I want to be in and out of this trial as soon as possible. If I can be done in 24 hours saying, hey, look at these great results we provided, now here's the investment to move forward, the faster I get the money, the better. So I don't want to be leveraging services that are going to drag on and take forever for me to show a result. Add them to the end of the process where they're already happy and I have results coming in on a regular basis where they're not caring that a month has gone by and their website isn't, 3 spots higher in Google. They don't care about that because they're getting good reviews. They're getting appointments and sales from our message marketing campaigns. They're getting new leads coming into the process that are turning to appointments and sales through our lead generation. We're holding them over, keeping them satisfied and happy, so our longer term services have a chance to kick in and take effect. And so structuring it that way allows you to keep them happy, get them happy right away, and then keep them happy and paying you over the long term, keep them sticky, and ultimately fully deploy your whole portfolio of services, which provide tremendous value when they're all together working, which is more value to you too, right? The more services I sell, the more money I'm making. But the flip side of that is the more services I sell, the best results you're getting for your clients. That makes
I
sense?
love that. And the higher you go, one thing people may not even notice is these are productized services at the low end of the ascension. The higher you go, you're dependent on human capital and talent. Like you need to have
Yes.
very creative and very talented people to sustain a lead generation business, where reputation management is really just, fundamental like tech,
Yeah.
like it's just technology that you're enabling and getting out of the way. So that also creates variation in churn and inability to keep clients long term.
Yep.
And then account managers are pissed off, and then the sales gotta go, they gotta go get more sales, and they get more pissed off. Anyways, back to you guys on how it all translates to the world.
Yeah, real quick, Jason, I'm just going to jump in here because,
Yep.
and the ascension then, and at the end of all these 3 days, you kind of understand is when you can, oh, the heck. Oh, it's at the end. Sorry. Forget it. Is we're going to package these together, but that slide is at the end. Jason, I'm just going to run through these really quick. I
Yep.
added these like last minute. So when we're looking at this, right, and we're looking at the moving up the ascension, rep management trials into saying like, hey, let's move into an ongoing monthly retainer of rep management. We're using the trial, right, to get our foot in the door and then moving up the value ladder. And so the question that you should ask is, do you want 30 clients at $197 a month, which is about $70,920 a year, with an average client value of 2,400, or 5 clients at, let's say, 2,000 a month? I'm just curious in the chat, what would you guys rather have?
Let's see, I'm seeing some of the chats here. And there's pros and cons to both,
Yes, there's pros and cons.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting a mixed range of answers here. Some people are saying I want 3 clients at 5,000, and some are saying I want 20 at 500.
Yeah, okay, so
Let's
you can mix and play your
yeah.
your numbers how you want. So yeah, so typically probably the majority of people will say fewer clients, higher value, just less people to deal with essentially. And they have a much higher client value. And so we always use this, how back in the day, Russell used to always say, one client away, we like to, or one funnel away, we like to say you're one client away. I want to actually jump in here really quick. I think I could just exit this, right? Yeah. I just want to go through a quick calculator that we like to use. Where would it be? Right here. You can see the new screen. Do you guys see the you see the new screen?
Yes.
And so if we take a look really quick and we just for to understand the power of it, right? If we have, let's say you're getting paid $297 a month from, you start with 0 clients and you add 1 new client a month. Okay. Just one new client a month. And let's say the overhead is $50 a client. By the end of the year, you would have made $16,000 and at about $2,700 a month recurring revenue. And if we just change this and said, all I want is 5 clients, and let's say they're average paying $1,997 a month, and we're not adding any new clients, we have a little more cost because we're doing more stuff for them. It's just the power of it, right? It's just the power of higher ticket. Starting off low ticket, finding a way to create the value, adding more services to increase the client value. You just need less clients to make a lot more money. That's the whole point of what we're kind of going through here. Does that make sense for everybody?
Give us a yes in the chat if you're resonating so far.
I lost my that one slide I thought was coming up and it never came up. Probably at the end. All right, let's go back here. So that makes sense, right? People are saying it does?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's give a t-shirt away. I got a t-shirt to give away. Here, it looks like this. Nice t-shirt for you guys.
Let's you know what we can do real quick is comment down what's been your takeaway so far. And I know we're just getting started in the grand scheme of things. What's been your takeaway so far from some of the neat details that we've shared so far? Okay. And then based on one of you, I'll just pick a winner here. Let's see. What's been your takeaway so far? Okay.
Somebody said how doable this is. That's the whole point of this, is just to kind of keep this simple. And
yeah. Okay, let's go with Matt Stanley.
Matt Stanley.
Yeah, Matt says leveraging results. That was a big detail in this whole business model, because the point is you're starting without any results. You're getting the foot in the door to then build the results so you can leverage them to go into higher tickets. So let's go with Matt Stanley. Matt, congrats. You won a t-shirt, my guy.
A t-shirt. Yep. Yeah. And again, you guys will just find me and then I get messages all the time. All right. I don't even know what's next. Okay. So actually, let's finish this. In terms of, do you guys, have you realized that your offer has already been built? Do you guys who have been watching very closely of what the best offer, especially if you're in the beginning. Matter of fact, I don't care if you're in the beginning or in the middle, you have 5, 6 clients, 7 clients. Do you guys understand what the offer is?
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of yeses.
Joe's, yeah, we're getting a ton of yeses. Okay.
So essentially,
everybody's celebrating Matt Stanley over there.
Nice.
Thanks, Matt. But yes, go ahead. Sorry, James. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no. So the offer is actually, Jason, you finish off the offer.
Yeah. So essentially, we're going to use a trial. We're going to get our foot in the door using a trial. And why is that, again, why is that important? Just to drive home that point is, what if I'm brand new, right? This is a common thing. What if I'm brand new and I have 0 experience? Is anyone ever going to be working with me? Well, yeah, of course, no matter what, because if no one new could ever get a new client, then there would only be like 2 or 3 people total that's running agencies, right? So, but in the end, this offer, right, all we're doing is mimicking a proven process. Trials, you guys have done trials a million times in various aspects of your life. We're going to use a trial. But again, when you're doing a trial, it has to be a quick win. How can I get a very quick result? And to address another question I've seen is like, yeah, but how do you like keep them interested? You use a high perceived value service. Every business owner on the planet understands the power of a good review. You'll never talk to a business owner that doesn't understand the power of having a good review about their business online. So we're leveraging a very high perceived value service that is very cheap and easy for us to offer, that we can do it on this trial kind of basis that gets a quick result. Again, I add contacts to the workflow. The setup and running of this will be shown later on, so don't worry about for those that had those questions. But immediately as soon as I turn the faucet on, add people to this campaign, emails go out, texts go out, like reviews can start happening like literally within 30 minutes to an hour. And we've seen that kind of thing. Any of you that have run database reactivation campaigns have seen how fast those things work. Reputation management is really not that much different. There's a few extra steps in there, but it happens very fast. It's a visual. I can literally go to the business owner and say, look, when we started this process, you had 20 reviews there on Google, or 0 reviews or 5 reviews. Look, now you have 10, you have 30, whatever that is. It's very easy to see the result and that value. Every business owner understands that value. So we're using rep management as that mechanism. That's that quick win strategy that we're going to use to get our foot in the door so that we can start this baby Yoda process, if you will, of building value for that client, selling multiple services, get the results that will then leverage to close other deals in the future.
And by the way, shout out to our good friend and huge leader in the community, Rob Bailey, who coined that term database reactivation early in the world of high level. And obviously guys like Jay Abraham and Frank Kern have coined those similar terms that are very, aligned with the concept of taking somebody's existing list and bringing those customers back in as a retention model, right? You can call it whatever you want, but the idea is to go activate someone who hasn't came in a while, whether it's through texting, email, marketing, going and knocking on their front door. It doesn't matter. The concept still applies. But shout out to Rob if you're watching. We love you, man. Let's keep going.
Nice. Yeah. And so the reactivation now is going back and asking past customers to leave a review, right? And so if we bring in this kind of full circle in this value ladder setup, is you got your free trial, you got your ongoing rep management, and then, message marketing is what we call it, lead generation and SEO. You could potentially package it, right? That's where I come up with the $2,000 a month or the $4,000 a month. Is by now they know, they like, they trust you. You've gotten them results. They trust you to get more results. They want to add more services to these campaigns and for you to do. And now we can package to make them a high ticket client from a trial and a low ticket client. All right. And so that brings me back to the process. Again, you have your niche. You're going to be prospecting. Typically, if you're new, maybe in your warm market, and then we get into something called the client qualification interview. Now, there's not enough time to go through all these things, right? I'm just overall giving this, but I will be giving away all of these scripts at the end of day one. I don't know if did we say that in the beginning? I don't remember. I said that.
Yeah, we did. That was part of all the different materials that you're going to be getting. By the way, you're going to get a ton of different things. Some of the things we may cover during the live or not, but at least we'll provide you.
Yeah.
I think, James, you said you're going to provide like courses or trainings to at least be able to go through that in a different format as well.
Yeah. And so all I did on this screenshot, I just wanted to share this because people will ask, all right, well, you mentioned client qualification interview. I don't know what that is. Well, every step of the process, there is a script, there is a process, there is a form that you guys can use in order to get through each process. Now, I do want to also point out after you do 1 or 2 clients in trial, you may have the results to just not even do trials anymore. I think it's important to understand that is that you don't have to do trials for the rest of your life. This is about getting results that are good enough to then show future prospects, and you just skip the whole trial to begin with. Like you're just now you have the results, you have the confidence, you have the ability to know for a fact you will fulfill and get results. Well, then you don't even need to offer that anymore, right? And so that's just an important point to touch upon.
I love
All right.
that because we always talk about the launch strategy being different than the scale strategy. And this is some of those details, like you're not going to have a trial forever and feel like you're
Right.
devaluing your brand or your positioning. Just remember
Right.
that this is just getting you started and launched.
Yeah, exactly. And then just to finish this off, if it makes sense, it always makes sense to offer additional services to clients. It provides them more value, creates a system of services working together to get them better results, right? You can only get a certain amount of results with one service. They want more results. So what better way to add more services? And upselling is so much easier if you're already getting them the results. There's no hard selling. There's no more getting to know you. They already know you. They know what you can do. They trust you. And you're simply offering the next logical service or services, moving them up the value ladder and helping them address more of their pain points. Because I can almost guarantee that most people who are struggling to get reviews online are also struggling to get clients and getting their brand out. And they're always going to be struggling most of the time with everything in their business, right? And so that's the next step. And easier to sell to someone that's already bought from you before, especially if you got them results. Again, this is just more of the same stuff. When you offer more services to your clients, now it gives you the opportunity to provide them more value. You'll help them. You'll help your clients get even more value from you. You'll keep your clients sticky, and you'll make more money with less clients, essentially. All right. I actually found a way to now see what's my next slide over here. All right, cool. So we're going to jump into prospecting. Now, Jason, would you kill me if I had you do this? Because I got to run to the bathroom.
Nope, go right ahead. All right. So
Oh, but you can't control my thing, right?
Here, I could slide through if you want me to. Or Jason, if you want to, oh, you know what? I'll make it easy. Let me just, what slide number are you on, James?
I'm on slide. Where does it tell me? Where are we?
66.
Looks like 66. Okay, cool.
66.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can share my screen if I have it now pulled up. So
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Okay,
maybe that's
cool.
better. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, James, I think you need to stop sharing yours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Nope, it allowed me to kill you off there. All right, perfect.
Should. Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, you see my slides?
Not yet. So if you want to just click on share. Let me see here. We were sharing it for a quick second. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Here we go. All right, cool. So basically, two types of prospecting. We categorize them warm or cold, right? Warm prospects are prospects. Again, these are our kind of definitions of them. Prospects that are going to come to you. They're inbound. They're seeking you out. Okay, they could be referred by a mutual party. The big thing to know is that they typically close at a higher percent, right? It's that whole know, like, trust kind of thing. Or again, if I'm seeking out, right? If I'm hungry and I go to the hot dog stand, like more than likely, hot dog stand is going to get that sale, right? I'm coming to them and I already have the desire, the need. Cold prospecting is on the opposite spectrum of that. That's where they potentially don't even know who I am and they're not asking for anything. It's me approaching someone out of the blue and saying, hey, I have this thing, you might be interested, let's have a conversation about that. And as you would expect, that's just going to be typically a lower close percent than it is with the warm prospecting because I'm seeking them out. Now, with a solid offer, right? The offer is everything, right? Whether I'm running ads, whether I'm selling agency services, it doesn't matter what it is. The offer trumps anything and everything. If I can get essentially a low risk way for people to say yes that just makes it easy, then I'm going to win. And so that's kind of tying everything that we've been talking about. You're going to end up tapping into warm prospecting first, but understand that your scale may be limited in that fashion. So you potentially will need to tap into cold prospecting where you're going out to other people. And so our process helps make this easy, where we can have that blend and we have that high percent close on the warm, but also when we need to go out to start the scale, to start finding other opportunities on our own, we have a good solid offer that can help that percentage close go up. James, I'm going to give you back since you're back so that we don't ruin the flow of.
Yeah. I got it.
And by the way, as they're pulling it up, you may transfer prospects from being cold to warm, and that's totally okay. It's totally okay to not close a cold prospect out the gate. You may warm them up, sometimes 12 weeks at a time. There's a sales cycle that's in play depending on the type of offers you have, the type of business you have, who you are in the market. Usually 45 to 60 days is a very normal sales cycle for a standard agency, regardless of what kind of services they have. But go ahead, guys.
You want me to keep rocking, James?
Yeah, just up and I'll tell you when, because I'm getting something ready for the walkthrough.
Okay, go ahead and get the next slide. All right, and so we kick off the process. We want to start off with warm, right? If we can tap into a warm prospecting method right away, then all the benefit for us, right? Again, get people interested in coming to us, get people in our network that's already warmed up to us and get them, again, interested in maybe doing business with us. We like to use what we call the arm's reach method as our first prospecting method because it's the easiest and it has a high percent close, right? And so this is something that, Vault members is our coaching program, but this is it's the number 2 way over the history of our program over the last 7 years that people have landed clients. It's something James and I had used at our agencies. It's a non-salesy way to announce what it is that you're doing. Because one of the big fears of whenever I start a business is like, man, I'm so nervous to tell anybody about it because I feel kind of salesy or I feel kind of scuzzy and scammy and whatnot. And so this is a nice, easy way for you to tap into your network and basically tell people what you're doing without having a direct, nasty, salesy approach that we get that icky feeling. It's an easy way to leverage our network for a warmer introduction. It essentially creates a referral-based environment. And the beauty of this is it is niche blind, meaning I can just use we'll give you the statement here in a second. I can just use it and not even mention a niche, so I can just attract opportunities, or I could list a niche in it. But what we're going to do is we're going to post what we call our arm's reach post. You're just going to post it on your Facebook. Now you can post it across any of your social medias. And here it is. So while you're looking at it, this is the actual post right here. Let me tell you about the psychology behind it, right? Everything's worded a very specific way. And the reason why it's worded this way is because, again, to get rid of that salesy feeling, none of us wants to go out and say, hey, if you have a business, hit me up, right? Especially if you haven't posted in a while, right? You don't want to be that person who's like, hey, I'm asking all you guys for business. No, this is kind of an insidious way for you to essentially ask for referrals while also telling people in your network that you are doing this specific type of work. So we say, hey, does anyone know any small businesses? Not, again, understand, we're not saying, hey, do you own a small business? We're not saying that. We're saying, do you know anyone that owns a small business looking to bring in some extra revenue? And you can see the rest of the script. And what that's doing is, if you do have someone in your network, because here's the thing also that we hear. Yeah, I don't have any friends that are business owners. Why am I even wasting time doing this? You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know who your network knows. Okay, we've had people. One of my favorite stories is when someone did this in our group, and they came back and was like, "Holy cow! Well, I did not know this, but my friend knows one of the largest car dealers in Florida, and he got me set up. He's like, dude, you should talk to Peter, who I didn't even know." And anyway, they end up setting up this meeting. So you don't know who you don't know, but what happens is anyone in your network potentially sees this, and it's evergreen, right? It's not something you're just going to delete. It's going to sit there. We've had people come 6 months later say, hey, I seen this post. And so what it does is just simply, it kind of announces what you're doing. And so someone can be like, all right, yeah, I know so-and-so. But what it also does is if you have people in your network, and you might even already know that, but you just kind of been scared to approach them, what this does is announce it because they may say, well, I don't know anybody, but hell, hey, dude, it's me. I'm a realtor, man. Can you do this for me? Right. And that effect has happened over and over just with this simple little script here. So this kind of little insidious way to kind of tap into your network without you feeling all weird about it.
Yeah. And by the way, I would encourage everybody who has never done this to take this, screenshot it, and go do it. And if you don't want to all say the same thing, you could copy this and throw it into Chat GPT and say, hey, can you just reword this a little bit? And I will guarantee tomorrow when we come back, people will post and say, oh my God, like I didn't even realize that, what Jason just said. Like somebody reached out to me. I don't even know what to do now. So
I have a quick question for you both, and I'm gonna ask this on behalf of the entrepreneurs that just started off and don't have a client just yet. Y'all remember that show? I don't know, maybe on Discovery Channel, there's like the whole myth busting thing, and they like try to defact whatever it is.
yeah.
So if I post this, do I need to have some kind of a knowledge base or understanding of how to fulfill this thing? Or should I learn the fulfillment and go post after? Like, does the chicken come before the egg? Like, because a lot of times it's almost like an excuse that I don't know enough about the fulfillment that I'm not gonna do any sales, But in reality, what's your recommendation of like a chronological order on this?
So the way we always say it is like, for one, you'll never know as much as you think you need to know, right? We always have this quest for knowledge. Like, I just, once I get a few more details, but we don't know because we don't know what we don't know. So those quests for details never stop, and it just delays action. And delay is the biggest, I guess, opposite, if you will, of success, right? Delay is what it is, not inaction. It's just pretending that we are taking action and delaying the actual action. But the second piece is I always say this, James and I always say this, is like, look, I can tell you, here's one thing that I can guarantee. Actually, two things I can guarantee. The sun is always going to rise, and there's always going to be someone that knows how to push the buttons. There's a million, hey, some of you out there right now, you might be guilty of this right now. You're like, man, I know go high level in and out. But I'm just so nervous to go talk to anybody. Right? We all have this network that we're in that I promise you, there's always people that are will just ram down the door to be able to push the buttons and do things, but they hide behind the door when it comes to actually going out and getting clients. So I can assure anyone that wants to do this, and you're nervous about, well, what if they this and that, right? We can what if ourselves to death, but here is what you do. If someone responds to this, you literally come to that group, come back to this group, and you say, holy cow, I did what James said. I posted the arms reach post, and now I got this thing happening right now. Who wants to partner up with me on this opportunity? Because in the end, you have an opportunity sitting in front of you, and there's nothing stopping you from, who cares if you close that deal and you end up splitting profits or any of that kind of thing like that. It doesn't matter. You've got the win that you can now leverage, gives you confidence, and so on and so forth to build from.
And just to add on to that, Paulson, I mean, what we're going through today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday, there's nobody here that won't be able to push the buttons that we're going to be going through. That's the whole point of this. The whole point, the entire point of this is to eliminate that fear of I don't know how, because this service, especially with Go High Level, is literally you can take the snapshot, get it in there, and you'll know how to run it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like it's all set up for you. Yeah, you need to understand a little bit of Go High Level. It's fine. But the whole point is that so you don't have to worry about the button pushing. But if you don't want to do it, like Jason said, the next thing to do is find somebody who will do it with you, partner up, and split the $400, whatever it might be.
Yeah, and let me provide a friendly suggestion to a lot of you that may not even be on high level just yet, and this is maybe your day one or first workshop you ever watched. James and Jason are going to go pretty tech heavy tomorrow and day 3 to really unpack the fulfillment of the assembly line. So if you don't have a high level account, today would be a great day to just jump in. I don't even mean to be salesy. It doesn't really matter whether you take us up on this or not. Take your time. Like at some point, you're gonna be in our family, is how I feel if you're an agency or a marketing person. But I welcome you to just jump into a trial because tomorrow you can go step by step and snapshot by snapshot. And we're gonna be giving away snapshots. Basically, they are automation blueprints that you build as your IP. You can distribute, copy, pass, share, however you want. But you need a snapshot to start an account and duplicate. But either way, jump into the trial as soon as you can. So tomorrow you're not just kind of watching on the sidelines. But so Jason, I like the way you're positioned this. This is a B2B seed out there in the world of marketing that's like, hey, can I tap into your network is what you're asking to your existing network. So you're not going directly to the business owners. You're essentially asking for alley-oop.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It just helps remove a little bit of the pressure that we all have when we're just getting started of like asking. We always have this weird thing about asking friends and look, I get it. I get it. But I don't want to say unfortunately, they are also, your network is some of your best client opportunities just sitting there in front of you that most people just are scared to tap into because they don't know how to approach it. And this kind of just disarms the defenses of the network without sounding salesy like I'm coming after them, and it makes me more comfortable as well. Like, hey, I'm asking for referrals. You'd expect no less from any of your other people in your network. If they have an opportunity that they're looking for someone to refer to somebody, this is just taps into all that. Just a little bit of psychology to help us get around those normal roadblocks to asking our network for opportunities.
Yeah, and
Love
it also forces the hand because I've done some shorts about this is we get into this business and then we don't tell anybody about it. Like we literally are like, I don't know what it is. Like if you want success extremely fast in any business, if you open up a brick and mortar, it doesn't matter. What's the first thing you should be doing? You should get all your friends and family should become your clients, right? And it should be assumed. And for some reason, when it's like this online business, everybody's like, I'm afraid to tell people, right? I had a quick story because I know we're going to end up running out of time, but my best friend was like, I'm going to do it. He's a teacher. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run this business. And he was always in the weeds, just constantly like, I got to learn this first. I got to learn this first. No matter what I said, it didn't matter. And then COVID hit and all that stuff. And he came back about a year ago and he's like, what's the first thing I should do? I go, pick up your phone and just the guy knows so many people. I'm like, just tell people what you're doing. Post it on your LinkedIn, post it on your Facebook. And it was like immediately, it was a $7,000 website from a doctor, another $7,000 website. And it was just like, and then he posted the website on his LinkedIn. And then he had like 3 other doctors like, oh, I didn't know you did this. It's just, if you just talk and this kind of forces you to do it, right? Forces you to do it in a way that you kept telling yourself I can't tell anybody. Well, go post this. And now you started telling people. So yeah, I got to switch to that double tap method. Jason, this is all you, man. You know this stuff too well. I gotta let you run with this.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And so essentially what we want to do once we tap into our network essentially and get that post out there. And again, nothing may come of that. It doesn't matter. It's the action, right? We just want to get the action. It gets the ball rolling, gets the steps going. Now we have a process where we can start reaching out to people, essentially a hybrid prospecting method that we can go after businesses that are potentially going to be a good fit for us. And we call it the double tap, just as a little snazzy little way of just saying, hey, we're going to hit them 2 different ways, 2 different communication methods, and we're going to reach out to businesses that have a clear need for our services. And the beauty about reputation management is it gives us very clear guidelines on who needs help potentially and who doesn't. Like if they have no reviews on their Google My Business or this is kind of old, Google Business Profile, I believe is now called. They have new reviews there. Well, that's potentially an opportunity for me to help a business start getting reviews. Maybe there's no reviews on their Google Business Profile and also isn't claimed. That's another option to target. I can target people with bad reviews. Again, bad reviews is anyone that is compared to their competitors has a lower rating and or lower review amount. In the end, we can really reach out to anyone as long as we frame it correctly. And we'll talk about a few frames that we have in terms of identifying businesses. So we'll pop to the next slide.
Sorry, I'm like back and forth.
Yeah, no big deal. So like, for example, here's just an easy example, right? We have plumber right here. This was in Sherman Oaks, California, where I was living there. Very easy search allows me to see that, hey, Berlin Plumbing compared to the stacked up against their competitors. All I did was take a quick little screenshot that I could leverage and show them. We'll talk about that in a second, but very clear that this person could use a review service. And heck, even just to point it out, also, even right below the Sherman Oaks, even though I didn't highlight them here, the Sherman Oaks plumber has 6 reviews. You can see that, even though it's 5 stars, compared to these other plumbers that have, you know, one has 23, one has 52. I can reach out. It's just a matter of being able to look and saying, all right, this person could benefit from my reputation management service in a very clear, I don't have to guess, right? I'm not guessing here. Like, it's very clear that there's a need, right? Next slide. Okay. Now, this is an example of a business that did not have a claimed Google business profile. You'd be surprised in the Google Maps listings, you can search any niche in any location, and you're bound to find plenty of people. Now, I know this might be a little old looking, and the process might be a little bit different in terms of what the visuals look like, but it's really the same. There's Google business profiles out there that aren't even claimed, right? The business owner has no clue that, because remember, Google just creates these things, these Google business profiles out there in the Maps listings by scraping data, right? They found out that this business was created, you know, on a document somewhere, and so they create this business profile out there, but it doesn't mean the business knows about it. It's real quick, it's important to understand that you will know, going through any sort of agency type training, you're going to know more than 99.9% more than any business owner you talk to, okay? Yep. Plumbers, when they go to their trade school, they don't sit for hours learning marketing of their business. They're learning how to become a plumber. Dentists, when they go to dental school, they're not taking hours upon hours of marketing, right? No one is taught this stuff. No one is born with this stuff in their head. And most business owners, they are good and they learn and become good at what it is they do. Marketing is what we do, right? Marketing is what we do. And that's why we become good at it. They become good at plumbing, being a chiropractor, being a dentist. They become good at that, and they leverage people like us to do the marketing stuff, right? And so it's just important to know that these businesses that you're out there interacting with, you might be saying, well, what? Maybe they'll claim their Google business profile. They probably don't even know it exists. They're not told when they become a business owner, hey, by the way, Google's going to create this little thing for you. Just keep an eye out for it. No one knows. No one knows this stuff, okay? So this is why we can go out, identify these needs, and highlight it to the business, right? And that's our foot in the door when it comes to prospecting. So here, again, here's another version of a business that is out there. It's clear to see that they are lagging their competition. And heck, they haven't even claimed their Google business profile. Okay. Here's another example. I talk about kind of lower reviews. Like this person, right? What we say earlier, the people that scream the loudest typically are the people that had the worst experiences. LK Plumbing here might be a fine company. They might have a long service record and have many satisfied customers, but they probably don't have a process, potentially don't have a process to leverage and collect and leverage reviews. Whereas, you know, Mainland, they might not have a process either. They only have 9 reviews, but they just got lucky, and the people that left their reviews are 5 stars, right? And then you can see down below the competitor, Rooter Plumbing, they have 102 reviews, 4.5. So it's a matter of when I'm looking for companies to potentially reach out to, I'm looking at it in terms of a frame. If I sent this screenshot to LK Plumbing and communicated to them about it, they don't have, I don't need to be a good salesman. I'm just pointing out the obvious that they can clearly see with their eyes. I don't have to come in with some slick sales tactic. They can look at that and say, holy heck, yes, I am behind my competitors who are literally above and below me. Next. So these are just example opportunities that we can reach out to, right? To identify businesses just
Yeah,
very
I'll
clearly with
grab
our
this.
eyes on who might be a good candidate.
And then,
James, yeah.
yeah, and so I also want, because this is what we've been utilizing a lot lately, is if you, again, have Go High Level, I'm going to pull up the prospecting tool.
I was just about to ask you guys if you are gonna use it because it's pretty new. Like it's I think it's still in beta. And one of the things that we do in high level is we roll out a ton of features left and right in beta and allow you to go into our lab section and turn it on and off. So I know this was pretty recent out of beta. So everything you're seeing is very I would say in the skateboard model. We haven't built the car or the plane around this feature just yet, but this thing has been pretty popular. I'm curious to see how y'all are leveraging this.
Well, I mean, instead of going out and
Yeah,
typing in dentist near me and trying to figure out which ones it is, this tool just tells you. Matter of fact, not only does it tell you, it gives you a conversion rate. How
Yeah.
likely are you to land them as a client based on basically their brand? Like, for example, Smile Partners. Then, by the way, all I did was put dentist near me. Um, they have 118 ratings, 4.5. You're probably not going to land them. It's unlikely, right? They kind of have their stuff together. But if you start to look a little bit deeper, I actually just pulled this, so I haven't gone through these, and it might take a while to load because I'm running Zoom as well.
Yeah.
But here, this one's already run. So if we take a look at Wayne Smiles, okay, and we save that as a prospect, it'll build the report for us that we actually can use during the double tap. Instead of taking like screenshots and putting arrows,
yeah.
all you
Simplify.
need to do is build this. What's that?
So yeah, it simplifies the process that we're kind of describing here. Yeah, makes it easy.
Yeah. So the old way was you go find a scraping tool out there, find some prospects that make sense, and then go build a bunch of screenshots and find their emails somehow or text messages or whatever, then educate them that they're missing XYZ out of 5 or 6 things, and then go send out some sort of a report manually built on whatever prospecting tool, and then hope that they actually see it or deliver it, right? We
Yeah.
built all of that inside of high level under one feature, which is what you're seeing with James. And you're looking at high level inside the agency view on the left side of the menu. There's a ton of different things. Prospecting allows you to just put in a zip code or a city and just say, okay, let me find the people that are missing XYZ things. Those XYZ things are typically live web chat, GMB, WordPress, reviews, I think something with addresses if you haven't claimed your listings and stuff like that. But it just gives you like a full report of, hey, these are the businesses that are missing these things. Then on top of that, the system, one click, like James just did, allows you to see a PDF clean professional report that's totally white labeled, by the way, and you can
Yeah.
just click export PDF and just send it over if you want. Let me
Yep.
let me let me let me stop. Let me stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because it gets exciting, right? Because everything that we've spent 4 or 5 years doing and teaching and saying like these are the steps to do it, now we've been utilizing Go High Level massively to do this because the speed of implementation, you could literally share the report. I just pulled this because it takes a little bit to load, especially when I'm running Zoom. But essentially, this is what it is. They have a claim status. They don't have any text enabled on their business phone number. The WordPress site is whatever, no chat. They do reply on the reviews. This is a whole nother, we'll talk about AI and replying on reviews tomorrow. And then it kind of gives them like, look, depending on where they are, they're comparing them to their competitors, right? Like this person's got one star. That's a great prospect. And then, I don't want to dive too much into local SEO type stuff, but name, address, phone number. If things don't match, they're not going to be ranking anywhere. They're not going to be ranking in the listings. And again, I don't want to get too deep into this. but Google My Business ratings, as you can see, it's a 3.4. This is a great prospect. You could send them the report. You do the double, as we call the double tap method. And instead of doing it with screenshots, you're doing it with the report. And so I just wanted to show that because I think it's extremely powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's a matter of bottom line is identifying businesses that could use your help. Again, that goes to saying, hey, I'm going to approach the businesses that are more likely to make sense for them to want to do business with me. Helps me increase that close rate versus just randomly reaching out to people, right? And so in the end, it's very simple here. Again, we like to make everything sounds complex, but in the end, it's very simple. All we are doing, as I mentioned, the double tap is literally just reaching out to prospects with two different communication methods. In this case, we typically leverage like Facebook Messenger and email. And all it's doing is the more I reach out, or sorry, the more ways I reach out to someone, the more likely I am to reach them so that they can at least see my message. Now, I can't remember if we discussed it in here. What I typically will have people do is you start off with a social media message and an email, and then you follow up the next day or later on that day with a phone call. And that kind of alludes to what Paulson was talking about earlier about how do you take a cold in the end, it's like if we know warm prospecting closes more deals, how do we take a cold prospect and make them warm? Well, this is essentially allowing me to take a cold call, what would normally be a cold call, and make it a warm call by me simply calling and following up. Now we have scripts and everything and what we say in the double tap. I just wanted to add that piece in there that it's not exclusive. It's not just, Facebook Messenger email. Well, why can't I do? You can do anything you want. And again, one of the best ways to increase the opportunity to connect is follow up with a call the next day and say, hey, I just wanted to check in on the message I sent about about the negative reviews I seen on Google. Right. And now it's like, well, wait a minute, this person, have I already talked to this person before? It just drives home a little bit more of a connection.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, y'all, remember your ultimate advantage is that you're the giver. You're the giver of value. You're providing value to the business and saying, hey, listen, I have something for you. Here's a report. Here's how you can fix this, whether you use me or not. Standard sales guys in the world of marketing, they're asking. So from a sales psychology standpoint, you have a lot of advantage because you can go into, offsetting something for free. This is a free trial where you're adding value. You're not asking for money. You're saying, let me stand on my results and show you how I can change something, then win you over on a real relationship long term. So remember, you're in the position of giving in the sales psychology mechanism. Keep going, keep going.
Yep. Yeah. And in the end, all we're trying to do is get the conversation started so that we can eventually have what we call the CQI, client quantification interview. It's just Q&A session. Have a Q&A session with them to make sure that we can help them find out more about their business and ways we can help them. And then we just close them on what we call the simple trial. And again, we're targeting businesses that clearly need our help. So the odds are in our favor, right? It's a matter of, like Paulson says, we're not coming out of the blue saying, oh, we're going to harm your business. We're trying to help them, right? I like to say we're business doctors. Right? You've identified symptoms, and as a doctor, it's your responsibility to at least share, hey, here's what we're seeing, and here's some solutions for it. It's up to the person to take the advice, but there's nothing wrong with that. You're reaching out to help them.
Yep.
Okay. Next slide. I'm not sure what next.
Let's give $500 away. Let's do it, Paulson.
Oh man, I gotta go to my legal team and get permission here. But let's let me ask all of you a favor in case if you haven't done this yet. Please take let me go ahead and have you stop sharing the screen here, James or Jason. Please take a quick story or a clip of our Zoom here and just post on your socials, tag High Level, tag Jason and James, just as a token of gratitude. And it allows us to just, open up our social reach in general. But I want these guys to feel I want them to get their flowers because these guys have plenty of things to do. They're running their businesses and they're doing all this for free, just out of their heart, and we appreciate that. Just so you all know, I just want to make sure you all do that if possible. So let me go ahead and so this is a big one, $500 giveaway, huh?
If
So
you
let
guys
me
are
go
allowed,
ahead.
I don't want you to get in any trouble.
No, no, no. We're good.
Okay.
You just have to handle all of it.
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
I don't want to be the one writing the check.
Yeah, like, and
So,
by the way, for anybody, you could find me most of the time, like on YouTube. If you make a comment on one of the videos, or Facebook, I'm more commonly on Facebook. Instagram, okay, I'll go there today and take a look, but I'm terrible. I'm
okay.
really bad on Instagram.
So here's what I'm going to ask everyone to do. We've talked for about an hour and a half so far, and I want you to comment down the most profound thing you've taken away so far. And it could be something small, big, it doesn't matter. What's been resonating with you so far that you've never heard before, as whether you're an advanced agency, new agency owner, maybe you're not even an agency owner, you're a small business owner, maybe you're a coach, you're a consultant. Maybe you're a digital citizen of some kind, maybe an e-commerce person, regardless who you are. What's been the biggest takeaway so far from everything we've shared? And I'm gonna just simply pick my favorite quote or sentence that I hear from it without looking at the names. Okay. Someone says that's the gamification I like. Action is the best step. All right. This is for the $500 giveaway. I wanna see who is engaged here. Let's see. Um, okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go with, all right, a few more comments here. All right, let's go with Eduardo Salazar. He says, take actions immediately and get the results, because that's the whole point of what we've shared so far. Eduardo Salazar, I'm going to go ahead and have James tag you. Eduardo, congrats on getting your $500 giveaway win. And James and his team will handle all that. We're only doing this just for fun, you guys.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we're trying to show you how to build a massive business at the end of the day, but we want to make sure you're engaged and you're well with us. But let's keep going.
All right, sweet. So I share my screen again.
Yeah,
Is that what
feel
we're doing?
free.
Okay.
Yeah. Congrats, Eduardo. And please don't crucify me. Everybody else that was
Right.
typing a bunch of great things. I appreciate it. James kind of put me on the spot here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we're winding down. We're almost on 2 hours, I think.
Yep, yep.
And so let's end this. Well, let's again, we started with the end in mind, right? The process. Real quick, just because I wanted to hammer this in everybody's brains, is again, niche prospecting, preferably warm. Okay. Preferably warm because it's easier. Then we do have a client qualification interview. I'm going to give this at the end. Okay. You guys will, Paulson will show you where to get, all the stuff that we're talking about. Then it goes to a trial close. Remember, we're offering the trial. When you close them on a trial, you're going to onboard them. That's simply asking them a few questions about their business. And then from trial, we now want to get them on a retainer, right? Is different things to say now when you get them on a retainer. Now, when you're onboarding them, there's a few more things you need to onboard them. And then when a month or 2 months later, maybe right away, depends on you and your personality, we go for the upsell. And then now when they're extremely happy, here's where a lot of people forget. Most people forget. Remember, we've taught this to over 8,000 people. Most people forget that when they have a happy client, the first thing you need to do is ask them for referrals. And I always give this story on our Wednesday night Q&As. I always tell this story to remind people. My father's very good friend was a gym teacher, okay? He wanted to make extra money, so he started selling life insurance. I know, life insurance. Not one time, he's now 77, 76, has made $2 to $3 million a year for the last 30 years, has never ran an ad in his entire life. Wouldn't even know how, right? What he did was when he closed them on that kitchen table, that's how life insurance used to be sold, still a lot of times to this day, he didn't get up until he had 3 names. Never did. He wouldn't even leave. He said, I need 3 names. You told me how important it was to protect your family. Why do you think it's not okay for you not to share 3 people that you care about so I can go and help protect their family, right? Never did. And that's how he built his entire business. When you're with a business and you've gotten them great results and they're so happy with you, why wouldn't they? Why? It's called reciprocity. They want you to ask them for referrals. They want to be the one to refer you to somebody who needs your help. And so we have this referral automation. We'll talk about this more tomorrow, which once they become your client, now maybe you don't trust yourself to ask. Well, this referral automation will ask for you. Okay. It's built to kick off once you land them as a client. And then that automation kicks off, basically trying to get them back on the phone for like a 2-week checkup. And on that 2-week checkup, you ask them for referrals, right? It's, because a lot of people get a little nervous about it. And so that's the process. And then when you get a referral, you go back into the client qualification interview and you repeat the process over and over and over again. Okay. Listen, I always hear people saying, I want to run ads for my agency. If you do this right, you don't ever have to. You don't, because it's like it's its own flywheel. You get happy clients, ask for a referral, get a referral, bring them through the qualification interview to see what they need. You could skip the trial, get them on a retainer, and repeat the process. All right. I just wanted to hammer that home. All right. What's next? Okay. So
there's a couple giveaways. Yeah.
What's that?
I said, I think that's actually, there's just a couple giveaways left.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. Does anybody here have an agent? Let me repeat that. Put a 1 in the chat. By the way, Paulson, do we have a little bit of time, like another 15, 20 minutes?
We do. And the only thing we had promised everybody is the link to the 30-day trial as part of the workshop. So yeah, those of you that are watching and you don't have a high-level account, we do have a special offer, which is a 30-day trial instead of a 14-day trial that gives you like a full month to get set up. And I'm weary of that sometimes because I don't want you to be lazy for 30 days before you get started on sales. But we want to make sure you have that available to you, which the link is right here, James, for your offer, which is gohighlevel.com/James Workshop offer. When you go to that site, it's a landing page. You'll have 2 options: one as a new customer who's never had high level, one as an existing customer who already have a plan. It allows you to go in-app, either start a trial or upgrade. And if you do that, you get all the giveaways that, well, not the $500 cash and t-shirts and all that, but the snapshot stuff that you really need. James and Jason and their team, they're going to give all that away if you sign up as a brand new trial. Now, for those of you that already have an existing account, choose the second option. James, do you want to pull up that site if you don't mind? Just go ahead and go to that link. You can
this one?
Yeah. Just open it up real quick so they can see. Yeah. Click there. You see there's claim promotional offer and there's upgrade now. If you're an existing agency or a marketing professional using high level, go to the upgrade now button and upgrade to the next higher plan. So if you're on 97, go to 297. If you're on 297, go to 497. And I'm going to provide that list of all people that signed up either as a trial or an upgrade and send that over to James, and they're going to have literally all the giveaway snapshots. They're going to provide you access to all kinds of stuff as part of this workshop. They're not doing this anywhere else, just so you know. So you're not going to be able to just access it unless you pay, honestly, large sums of money, because their coaching program is not, it's pretty expensive from what I understand. So these guys are giving away a ton of things. If you sign up for a trial or an upgrade, in case if you are already on the highest plan, stay put. I'll have something for you on day 3. Okay. So just like any other workshop, we are going to make it available to you if you have an existing plan already. No worries. And I don't mean to sound too salesy here, but I truly believe in the product of high level and what it does. So if you want to go back to your slides, feel free to, and let's go through the giveaways and what you're providing, and then we'll do a Q&A for day one, and just probably set some expectations of homework and some of the actions that we want you to take. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what I was going to do is I was going to quickly walk through again, and this brings me back to making this business real for yourself. And the fastest way to do that is just like get yourself a website, right? And so a lot of people don't because maybe they're not, they didn't have a go high level account. They don't know how to do it. And so what we give our coaching students is the ability to bring a snapshot of a single page, good looking agency website that doesn't even require you to have to edit it and know how to edit in the funnel builder in case you don't know how to do that yet. And so that's what I think I was going to do.
Go for it. Go for it. Are y'all okay with us taking maybe another 15, 20, or even 30 minutes to go over some of this and also do a Q&A? Give me a yes in the chat if you want us to continue. If you don't, we'll cut it short and we'll do Q&A tomorrow or day after. But let me do a temperature check here with everyone. I know there's hundreds of you watching. Give me a yes in the chat if you want us to continue. Okay, well, we've got green light, guys. There's a ton of yeses here. Okay, cool. Let's take some time and do the walkthrough of the snapshot website, landing page, and all of that. Here's what I know about James. He's not going to let you have an excuse. That's what I'm noticing. You're going to have zero excuses to go actually do sales activities, and that's what it's going to all end up being. And I'm pretty sure Jason's probably similar.
Oh yeah, Jason is known for his enthusiasm, I should say.
That was a nice way to put his ruthlessness of you getting things done.
Yeah. Okay, so this snapshot you'll have access to. I know Paulson, I think they'll have that Google Doc, or is that the Google Doc day 3? I don't remember what you said.
Yeah, no. We'll add this snapshot to the Google Doc today after the end of the session as day 1 snapshot. Okay. And you won't be able to use a snapshot unless you have a high level account.
Okay.
And for you to sign up for high level, you have a link. So go ahead.
All right. So I guess so I just imported this snapshot. You guys will see what it is. So all you got to do is actually I don't want to do it in this account. I want to do it in another account. That's always the hold on.
Yeah, if you have a sandbox account or something, that might be easier.
I actually don't, but I have it already in here, so I'm just going to do it in here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so this is going to be, this is the snapshot name is called day 1 final snapshot. And if anybody is new, right, you don't understand it. So you're simply going to, and you're just getting your trial. You would
Sorry, James. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Is there any way you can make this larger? Can you go larger on your browser? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's much easier. Okay.
When you import, right, when you import the snapshot, it lives here. Okay. So this is we have a ton of them, but for you, you would have one when you click the link and it imports into your Go High Level account. And you simply just want to create a sub account. Okay. And I'll go fast through this because, and I'm gonna create it from a blank snapshot. All right. And I'm gonna add the account manually. And then hopefully my personal information doesn't pop up as I type things out. And you're going to fill out all of this information. And by the way, this is why if some of you did grab the trial today, you can kind of, watch this, and this is all recorded anyway. So I'm just going to put Go High Level agency site. I'll just throw in business address. I just want people to see it from like start to finish. I'm going to choose United States. New Jersey. Zip code. Just make up a phone number. This is not my phone number. And then time zone, we'll just put Eastern. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to hit save. Now that's going to create your, I'm going to say it's going to be your agency sub account, right? Because your agency sub, you would need to use a sub account for your agency if you're going to be running, you know, you're going to have your own website. Maybe people are going to book on your calendar with this website. So that would be your agency site. And now I'm going to just simply click load snapshot. I'm going to take a look for the day one final snapshot. Hit proceed. And then you just want everything to go in there. And hit OK. Okay, so I'm going to give that one like a minute to load. And then I'm simply just going to look for it. The new right here. So now I'm going to log into that sub account. And again, this is just for your agency site. So I'm just going to just show you basically, hopefully it's loaded in time. Okay, it's right here. Okay, and so again, just a simple, fast website to get something to make this business real for you. Okay, now this is basically essentially I know it doesn't look blank, but it kind of is blank. And you'll see that this site, let me go to edit. Well, it eliminates your need to know how to use the funnel editor in case you don't know how. You'll see how it has like a broken link over here, but you see over here it says images is your custom value. So all we're going to be doing is, you can see here, custom value agency phone number. What services do I provide? Custom values, descriptions of them, all that stuff. The reason why we did this is the image here is because we wanted this, anybody, even if you haven't learned how to use Go High Level, to get their agency site up as fast as possible. Then when you start to learn how to use the funnel builder and stuff like that, you could change the colors or whatever you might want to do. And so the way it works is you simply just going to go to custom values. And you see where it says site, all these, once you fill these out, they will automatically go onto the website. Okay. And for example, let me go into my media. Hopefully I could find the logo. Once you upload your logo, let's see if I can find one. All right. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just upload one. So to get your logo in here, you're going to hit upload file. I'll just grab any logo. Let's just do this one, whatever. Again, this is for demonstration purposes only. And so now what you do is you're just going to right click on the logo and say get link. Okay. And then you go back over to custom values. And in the logo key, you're simply going to put the value, which is essentially your media URL. Okay. Hit upload.
So then anywhere there's a logo need, it just fills in across the board in the entire company.
Yep. Wherever I have the logo custom value. Agency site, we're going to call this visibility cloud, because that's the name of our agency. I'm going to upload. Okay. And so what I'm going to, again, and so now over here, right? And then I'm just going to go to one that's finished. Owner email, just put your business email, your name, your phone number. The calendar is automatically, you don't even need this anymore. The calendar is already connected. I'll show that to you. Privacy policy page would just be the URL. And then again, your custom values for your service one, reputation management. What is it, right? Description. If you want to say it in a more professional way, you could just go to ChatGPT and type in, give me a brief description on what reputation management is, if you haven't learned exactly what it was today. Then service two, and then service three in the description, okay? And so that is it. And when you do that, you're going to have I just don't want to waste too much time. Once you fill out that, it's going to look like this. Okay. Here's my custom values, message marketing, SEO with a description, and I had lead generation there, right? And then if I go over to sites, it inserts the logo, and now it has like the message marketing, SEO, lead generation. It basically, it's just pulling um all of the custom values in what you filled with. So then it's done. I mean, the site is done. The calendar is here. It's connected. Just show you really quick how you do that.
We just basically put up a website in 2 minutes.
Yeah, basically, because even with the snapshot, they'll have the calendar already set up. They'll have everything. And like over here, you see the calendar is located over here. Free 15-minute consult call, right? Because it's already done. It's already in there. And so with Go High Level, and this is one of the things I actually love about the builder, is the fact that like forms and calendars, instead of embedding them and having to, get the embed code and stuff, everything built in it is just a drop down. So you
Yeah,
can click,
you can pull the elements, right?
you
You
pull
can
all
just
the
pull the
elements in.
element. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have yourself a fully done agency. Obviously, if it's the first time you're using Go High Level, maybe it'll take you 20 minutes. But we wanted to give you guys that to make this business feel, or force you to make this a real business. Because people, they just think they need to learn. They need to learn. Once you get this thing up, it's like, oh my God, this feels real to me. Like I'm actually, and then you would, connect your domain. So that kind of brings me into actually one of the, to kind of finalize this is here. So today you're going to get the agency site snapshot, scripts that we talked about, CQI, the trial close, the retainer close, the niche pricing traffic sheet. I could show that really quick what that is. Prospect tracker and onboarding forms. We can give this all to you guys today.
Do you mind reviewing all those items maybe for 1 minute each?
Yeah, no, not at all, because I had the
Because
links already here.
yeah. Just to walk over what it's for, what's the purpose behind it. Guys and gals, like we're not gonna have time to go through every single thing they want to give away. I'm telling you, like they're being extremely generous and they want to give away the entire farm. So we're not gonna have time to go through everything that was built over 10 years that led to, almost a $35 million agency. That doesn't just come overnight, right? So there's going to be instructions for each one of these items, but I just want you to at least have context to what it's for.
Yeah, and real quick side note. So, and I think Paulson, you said this was okay. Anybody that gets on a trial, right? And this goes with, outside people who've come in over the course of the last, 7 or 8 months. We'll give you a Go High Level training that will walk you through Go High Level from start to finish. We save that for people who fall under our affiliate link for just for a trial, and we'll give this to you because we know that the biggest hiccup that people will have is kind of the overwhelm of Go High Level, and our Go High Level training is geared only to agencies, meaning you're not going to learn everything that Go High Level offers because you don't need everything that Go High Level offers, especially in the beginning. And so our training is systematically built by step one. If you want to do X, Y, and Z, you're only going to learn how to do X, Y, and Z. If you want to run a lead generation campaign, you're going to go to that module, and it's going to literally only walk you through the lead generation campaign. So that will be delivered. And I think, Paulson, the way I have that set up is I have automations in my own back end that when people do hit a trial, it goes into my Go High Level, and they get all of the stuff already emailed to them. So if you're going to get on a trial, you may even get more than what I have here. I don't remember, but here's like the bare minimum of what you get. All right, so let me pull this up real quick.
And Jordan, by the way, he's gonna post our resources link. So Jordan, feel free to do that, and we can add these docs to it.
Yeah, if they're already
You know.
there, they're already in that sheet.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Feel free, Jordan. I know he had to slack me about it. Just make sure the right links are going out. But yeah, feel free. Thank you. If you want to zoom in a little bit here, this is a
Yeah.
CQI trial close. What's CQI?
Jason,
Client questionnaire
Jason,
intake or?
this is Jason's baby, so I'm gonna let
Okay.
Jason. We don't need to go too deep
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but
I'll give a nice synopsis of this. So basically, bottom line is for one, when we're brand new, we don't know what to say, we're nervous, we don't have experience, all this. What this is going to do right away for you immediately. And again, whether you're brand new or experienced, this is something that you can be leveraging in your business. But what this does is immediately going to make you look like an expert. We're going to be asking them questions that potentially no other marketing people are actually asking them. We're actually asking them questions relevant to their business, letting them tell us about it, and not just looking like we're trying to come in and prescribe some, oh, well, we've got this thing, we're going to sell you no matter what. Now, again, we've already identified these people as having a need. But what this does is provides a series of questions for you to ask. It also does another thing that I think is very important. A lot of times when we're brand new, we have this desire to work with anyone and everyone. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you from experience that you are not meant to work with every opportunity that crosses your path. You will make more money by saying no to opportunities that are not a good fit for you than you will by saying yes to every single opportunity. And so what this also does is it has kind of red flag answers built into these questions. And any one given red flag doesn't mean you can't work with this business, but it's that gut feeling. If I start getting red flags adding up, it might make sense for me to pass on this client. Okay. So this is going to tell me about the business, tell me their needs so I can prescribe, again, I'm the doctor, the right things that make sense for this business, but also highlight this opportunity as potentially a red flag opportunity that I'll need to pass on and move on to find the person I'm meant to work with. So it's like it's a document that's going to help you do all that. And then what it actually is also doing is going to flow into a script, so I don't have to guess what to say. Okay. Now, do you need to hold this up and read it word for word? No. If you already know you're going to have a conversation with someone, right? It's no different than you in fourth grade going to be, the star of the Lion King play. You probably had a script that you had to memorize and you study, so you didn't, go up there and just be reading it for the first time. So this kind of thing is something you're going to look over, but we actually give you the words to say, look, if they said this, like, here's how you answer them, leveraging the questions that they gave, or sorry, the answers that they gave you to make it easier for you to sell. Hey, you said this. And so you can see that right there. We say, hey, answer to 4, right? So you're basically just leveraging their information to make the close, and it kind of puts it in a nice handy dandy script, and on a nice outline of questions to ask, and then a script on how to close the deal. Okay.
Yep. And then we go into hold on, post-trial close.
Yep. And then
I combine them all.
And what do you say, after you do the trial? How do you get it to close the deal? All right. Well, we have that script broken out there for you as well.
Yeah. And this is usually 5 to 7 days. And again, real quick on trials, we always say trials is not length in time. Trials is result based, meaning if you're going to go into a trial on rep management on getting them more reviews, and you go out and within the first 2 days, you get them 5, 6, 7-star review, 5-star reviews, it's time to get them on the phone. It's time to get them back in there and say, hey, you want me to continue to do this? This is now my offer, right? This is what the cost is going to be, so on and so forth. And that's all, it's all in here. And so
And
that would be,
it's okay to set that stage before you begin as well.
absolutely.
Hey, yeah, like, hey, I'm gonna do this and deliver results, and I'm gonna call you back and tell you this is what it's like. It's totally fine to set that stage so your prospect is not blindsided with results, and they're like, oh, this guy's selling me on something even though he got me results. Like, oh, so feel free to set the stage on that. And because sometimes you may not hit it out of the ballpark because their list is just dead. Nobody's touched it forever, So give yourself some insurance and some breathing room as well.
Yep.
Go ahead, James. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine. This is the simple trial close onboarding form. Again, you're just onboarding them. I could knock this out. We have a checklist down here to make sure that you get all the information you need. So that's the script that you would use there. Here's our the onboarding form you do there. Here's a retainer. Now you move them from trial to retainer, collecting monthly payments from them. Again, this is just collecting all the information that you need with checklists. And then, because it's, if you think about it, we show the process, but there's things that you need in order to make the process work. So
yeah, and the last thing you want to do is close a deal and have to go back out. You get a client that says, yes, let's rock and roll. The last thing you ever want to do is leave that conversation without everything that you need to get started on the service, because ghosting is a real thing, right? It happens in the dating life, but also happens in the business world, where you're going to get people that's going to tell you yes. And in the time between they say yes and the time that the invoice is paid and you've collected information, you're gonna have some people that disappear. So we want to help minimize that by getting all the info. When I have their attention before they go back to being a dentist, go back to being a plumber, I have everything that I need to get started, so I don't have to bother them. I can get my payment. Or if it's a trial, I'll just have the information where I don't need to be begging them back and forth, waiting on information. I can get rocking, get started, get results, and move forward.
Yep. And then we talked pretty heavily on the double tap method that we talked about, identifying businesses with problems using the Go High Level prospecting tool. And essentially, this is exactly the stuff that you will send them, because people were probably wondering like, oh, well, I don't even know what to say. Well, now you have the double tap prospecting script. And again, you could adjust this to fit you and your personality. So what do you say if the business has no Google Business Profile reviews? Here's what you say. What do you say when they have no Google Business Profile reviews and no claimed Google Business Profile? Here's what you say. So everything, there's no stone left unturned. You'll know what to say. I told you in the beginning, you're going to know who to say it to, what to say, how to say it. You're going to know everything. Okay. And then
This is amazing, by the way, guys. I mean, if y'all are not excited for this, I don't know what to say. Give me a yes or a one in the chat if you are absolutely loving what these guys are putting together for you. I just want to make sure you're seeing the value of this 1000%. What were you gonna say?
I hope they're seeing value. Make sure you tell me so I get excited that they're seeing value.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
And now we're gonna say, okay, well, this is based on us doing this so long. We know what new people question along the process, where they, and we've always filled the gaps in, and then eventually there's no more gaps to fill, and this is kind of where we're at. So here's our niche prospecting structure. Pricing structure, meaning, we have over 30 done for you campaigns that Jason and I have run in our own agency, continue to run some of them, but where we have the data on them, how much the AdWords are going to cost, everything from beginning to end of running a niche. And again, this is when we were at the bottom of that pyramid, where we were doing as many niches that came our way. We never said no. We took them on, right? And eventually, as we worked up more into like tier 3 campaigns, like divorce, mortgages, pain management was a very big one for us. And so that's why we label them tiers. As you move up into the tiers, you can charge more money. What do I charge, James? Well, message marketing or rep management, if that's all you were doing, typically tier 1 campaigns could be $297. If you're going to add lead gen, or you're only doing lead gen, it's $997. Maybe you're only doing SEO. But then if they're going to take it as a package, you could charge them $14.97 a month, right? And so individually, this is how you charge. One, and one, or packaged, it would be like this. Because we get this all the time. I don't know how much to charge. Well, you'll have this pricing structure. Now, the next big question that we get.
Quick note on this. Quick note on pricing is some people say, well, can I charge X for a trip? This is what we call recommended minimum pricing. Okay. We always like to give that, because in the end, pricing is always a product of what you could charge $1 million if you wanted to. It doesn't mean client's going to close, but in the end, some people, just like James said, I don't know what to charge. This is recommended minimum pricing that you can safely charge these amounts and close a majority of the businesses you talk to, because these prices are not outrageous, and they're great for profit margin, and for you, great starter places that you can then build from. So you can have complete confidence when asking for these prices, not worrying about, well, is that way too expensive for them? These are recommended minimum pricings.
And by the way, one more thing I forgot to just mention. If you're brand new to the world of marketing or SaaS, we're talking about monthly recurring revenue. These are not one-time charges. This is monthly, like these are subscriptions or retainers that we're talking about. So you keep a client for 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. It's just that one-time sale as long as you maintain the services. So this is bigger than just a one-time thing, just FYI. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I should put per month, right?
Yep.
And for anybody who's familiar with the configurator, okay, we'll talk more about that on day 3, but we also have what we're offering in each one of these plans as well. And then the next questions that we always get was, well, James, I don't know, should I run this niche on Facebook? Would it be good for Facebook? Would it be good for Google? Like, I don't know what to do. Well, here's your traffic plan. Electrician really should only be on Google Ads, right? Yeah, SEO and stuff, but traffic source, because it's an electrician. I mean, are people sitting in front of Facebook hoping that electrician ad is going to go and fly by, their swipe? No, if they have a problem with their, electric, they're going to go to Google and type it in. That's why you would run it on Google. Same thing with the garage door. Gym offers, right? Free trial, $27 starter offer. That would be good for Facebook ads. So you see, that's where your traffic sources would be. That's what's explained on this tab as well. So just don't forget that tab is
And when
there.
you say traffic source, you're talking about lead generation services
Yes,
for the
yes,
end client to
correct.
be able to use these platforms to generate the traffic.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah. So certain industries, obviously, like e-com right now, there's a lot of movement happening in TikTok, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so there's certain niches that are relevant to certain industries and platforms. Pay attention to that, especially when you're doing local marketing. So yeah, this is for the end customer traffic management.
Yep. And then I guess the last thing, I'll let Jason talk because this is his doing as well. Uh, Prospecting. I mean, this is your accountability. This is
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
this. I love
So
this. I love this, man.
yeah, so the biggest thing that people that we all think, and it doesn't matter really what business, but especially in the agency world, is we always think that we're doing more than we really are. Okay. And in the end, we talked about that guaranteed success formula at the very beginning of this, taking action plus consistency, persistence plus patience equals success. What this tool is going to do is help hold you accountable to make sure that you are taking the most important part of that entire equation, consistency, that you are holding yourself to that. And what this does is a simple little tool, and you can customize it into whatever prospecting methods that you want. Obviously, we highlight some of the ones here that we've already discussed today, but you can add cold calling on there if you really wanted to. But in the end, all this is it's a month by month. You can see it's already tabbed out, and it's a day across. All you do is whenever you do that activity for that day, you simply put an X. And then over time, as you can see at the bottom, the daily total, your goal, the more X's you put, your goal is to turn your sheet green every day. It's what we tell people, right? If you turn your sheet green every day and over the course of the month, which is the most important, your goal is to turn the sheet green every day. Some days it's not going to work out that way. But as you see at the bottom, just go to another day, James, and just put in some other X's. You can see at the bottom the monthly total. It updates along with the daily update. Okay. And ultimately, if you are turning your sheet green every single month, you are on the path to success. And it helps you just have a nice visual that, hey, am I doing the work necessary to succeed? And what am I actually doing? Right. So we can look back and say, all right, what am I really truly doing here? Am I doing enough? And we kind of based it out. Like if you turn your sheet green every single month, you are on the path to success. It's up to you, or it's all in your hands on the success that you're going to achieve. Like you're holding yourself accountable, you're taking the actions, the rest will fall into place.
I
Yep.
love
There's
it. Hey,
accountability sheet.
I told y'all we're gonna bring some rock stars in here when it comes to these workshops, and now you know why. So hopefully you're enjoying this. James, Jason, I don't know if we have enough time for Q&A. What I would love for everybody to do is put your questions down in the streaming, and we'll go through and answer as many as we can, and we'll do a bigger Q&A towards day 2 or day 3 as we kind of
Yeah.
build those up. But just real quick, James, what are we going to cover tomorrow as we kind of close out? What's the agenda for day 2?
Okay. So tomorrow, I think I closed my my PowerPoint. I don't know what I don't know where it is, but I've literally no idea where I put it. But anyway, I actually could just stop sharing. There was nothing else on there. There is one thing that I will be giving away, right? Like we're gonna end this in the next probably 5 minutes, and then I want Paulson to pick one more name, and then once you pick the name, I'll tell you what they get. So tomorrow is gonna be all about that rep management setup, and how do you set it up, how it works, how do you get the lists in there from if you have somebody that's gonna give you a list, how do you set up ongoing reputation management? So it's gonna be the whole setup. It's all about setting that entire service up from start to
That's
finish.
and we're gonna be in the platform working a ton of that. So if you're brand new and don't have a high level account, today is the day that you jump on an account. And only for all of this, y'all, we're just simply asking to just try us out for 30 days. No obligation trial. You can just jump in and you get all these things. So awesome. So yeah, let's do, I guess, the last giveaway for today.
Yeah, you can pick while you're going through their
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me see. Let me see who is in here. I feel bad not being able to pick everybody here.
I know. Well, we're
All
picking
right.
everybody who gets on a trial to get all this good stuff anyway. So
Okay, awesome. Let me get, let's see, Kim Green, Kimberly Green. Let's go with Kim Green. I just see her as someone that posted right in the middle of my news feed here. So thank you, Kim. And I'm gonna go ahead and tag James on the comments. Yeah,
all right.
perfect.
So Kim, you are getting free access to our coaching program. So we will get you in,
Wow.
unlock all the modules, we'll get you in our private Facebook group, and
Wow.
what's today? Tuesday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tuesday.
Today's
No,
Monday. Today's
Monday.
Monday.
Oh, Monday. Yeah. So, Kim, if you're a beginner, you want to be on our Q&A tonight at 6 o'clock. So we'll get you as quickly as possible. Our
Yeah,
newbie
and
Q&A.
I think she said she is a newbie, so I think that might work in her favor.
Perfect.
So honestly, guys and gals, show up to the live if you can. I know there's a ton of you that are watching internationally, you're watching on replay, but we appreciate you. So I guess we're done for today then, huh?
That's it. Tomorrow's
All right,
it's going to be work.
so
Tomorrow's work.
can we put up the link for the trial? I don't know.
Yeah.
James, you said you closed out your
Yeah, I don't know how the
uh
hell I closed it.
well, it was open. It was an open Google Doc to everybody. I changed the privacy on it so random people will jump in it. But I added you to it. I think let's see here. Let me see if I can pull up.
Yeah, I'm just going to go
You're
into
looking
it.
for the trial link for Go High Level? I do have
No,
that.
Jason, can you send me the link to the PowerPoint?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what the heck I did with it.
Here, I can send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I can send it to you on Zoom. Here it is.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's saying I need access. How's that
Ye-
possible?
Well, it might have been me. It might have been me because I limited access earlier because it was
Oh,
wide open to anyone. But I added you to the JG email.
okay.
That's the email I added you to. So if you're logged in on that, you should be able to. I just added you one more time, so you should be there. Try now.
Got it. All right.
Okay, perfect.
Let me just show this. All right. So then you just want to show the link, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right here. GoHighLevel.com/James Workshop offer.
correct. And what do they get when they sign up for a new trial? Just to be clear across the board.
They are getting the agency site snapshot, all these scripts, and in most likely in the email after they sign up on my end, they will have a link on how to get this training, the Go High Level training.
This one, right? They're getting all this,
They're
right?
getting that, and then if they get on a trial under us, they use that link. They'll get an email from my own system giving them access to the Go High Level training. And if they don't have access to it, they'll know where to find me to ask access. So don't go to Go High Level for any of this. You got to come to me.
Yep, exactly. Because all the stuff is being given away and managed by James's team, and I'm working with them. So, obviously we know what we're delivering through James. But jump into a trial. But anyways, we'll see you tomorrow for day two. I'm gonna be looking out for all those Instagram and Facebook story posts that you tag James' team and Jason as well, and also high level. We appreciate you doing that. Tomorrow is gonna be heavy. Okay, tomorrow's gonna be heavier than today. Today was just really setting the foundation, to be honest with you. So tomorrow is going to be pretty tech oriented. We're going to get into the weeds of things. So if you're watching this and you didn't get a chance to go through the replay before tomorrow, and today's Monday, the 26th, please go back and watch the replay because tomorrow you're going to be a little lost and you're going to have questions that are irrelevant. But either way, we want to make sure we facilitate you. But I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right,
Replays will
guys, I
be
appreciate it.
yeah, replays will be available in all the channels, YouTube, everywhere. You should be able to watch replays as well. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys,
Later, guys.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.